Yeah, we're not. Oh, look promising. Oh, yeah, now we're on. Sorry about the wait, boys.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bit of a delay, too. So what's going on, guys? You excited for the draft? We got on in time for the first pick. What's going on, Jake? What's going on, number 10?
All right, gambling odds dictate Kyler Murray, huge favorite here. So, yeah, so I'd be really surprised if it was anyone but him. I don't know if like it's prudent too. I don't know how like this offense is going to be any better necessarily with Kyler Murray as opposed to the doctor Josh Rosen, but we'll see. Man, on the panel they got Booger McFarland. Defensive tackles generally don't make good announcers, but I don't mind him. Aside from the crooked finger thing. Guess this isn't a ringing endorsement for Starbucks.
I'm still trying to get things right technically, guys. So bear with me. But
It's like weird watching yourself be so delayed.
yeah, that's true. I tried to change the latency so it'd be quicker, but there's not much you can do.
I'll just watch on there then.
Yeah, that's fine.
It'll drive me crazy.
Oh, that one guy, welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? Go Giants. Where do the Giants draft?
Giants draft 6. Oh, and they have a Cleveland Browns pick, which I think is 16. So I fully suspect the Giants are in contention to trade a pick. So we'll see. I still really think the Bucs are going to trade out of that spot with the Redskins. Redskins are highly favored to trade in. So, but who knows if it's going to be Jets? I don't think it'll be the Raiders. I think it's between the Jets, Bucs, and the Giants. Niners could trade out too. I mean, they've spent all this draft stock on defensive linemen, and they're going to select a defensive lineman. Nick Bosa is a really big favorite, by the way, guys, gambling-wise. Really big favorite. I think it's like 1-5. So you'd have to wager 500 to just profit 100. So that tells me there's an 86% chance that it's Nick Bosa at 2. So that really means that that he's going at that position. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they trade Solomon Thomas, one of their less successful defensive lineman picks of past years. So, but I don't think any movement from Arizona. I don't think any movement from the Cardinals. The Jets is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Oh, that one guy. I know him. It's Josh. It actually is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Josh who?
I don't know his last name. But I didn't meet him in a men's room.
That's where I meet most of the guys I know.
I know.
The fat guy's camera's just going to suck tonight until I figure it out.
Weird technical difficulties.
Any of you guys ever used Streamlabs before? It's the worst.
Yeah, I know it's the worst. You know what? You guys did miss me eating, and I did my best not to get any stains on this new tarpaulin I bought. Looking great. Why are they taking so long, the Cardinals? Like, they're just... I don't know. I don't remember them doing this at every draft.
Maybe they're just making that final decision right now.
Yeah. If they, it's a be a big surprise if it was anyone but Murray. I guess Quinton Williams is probably the next. I think he's like 7-1 or something. So, I mean, we've seen crazier things, but I don't think so. You know what? Here, we're going to get a Fat Guy's mock up in a little bit or two. I did some homework. Don't bite my head off. These things are really hard to get. If I hit 8, I'd be surprised. I'm in a pool, too. So it's kind of like it would be nice. I gotta zip it over on my Vespa to Big Rye.
Still a lot of chatter going on.
Yeah.
How much of this do you think is planned out?
I don't know. Maybe they tell the Cardinals, hey, drag this out.
They definitely do. It's all about the drama. This whole draft has become a spectacle. Like,
well, look what we're doing.
Yeah,
this is a spectacle in on its own.
That is true. Draft rooms are always interesting to see in. How come sometimes there's like 40 people in there?
Well, the Raiders should only have 3, which is weird. That's true.
I do hope we get
the Redskins, you're not going to see very many guys either. Cowboys have been historic for that.
Yeah.
Here, I sent you my mock.
Perfect. Email it?
Yeah, I emailed it to you. Yeah, Fat Guy put some time in it. And this, by the way, all of Fat Guy's mock is really just gambling odds. Like, there's...
Well, explain what you've done.
So what I did is, it'll give you an over... Each different site only offers so many prompts because it's not a huge market, and they don't actually tend to do that well in these markets. The Joes and the pros seem to carve up the books on these things. So what I did is I figured out what the heavy favorites were for draft position. So for wide receiver, there's a heavy favorite to be 2, running back to be 1. So I made sure I had 2 wide receivers. Then I looked at the wide receivers to make sure that I think I have 3 actually, sorry. I'm just giving this as an example. Then I took the 3 most likely to be drafted, and then I looked at their over-unders, and I just kind of placed them. And then I added a little bit of need into where they went. So I followed all these rules, and I used the odds for each team to draft a player where. So the reason I have a trade in there by Washington is because there's a huge favorite for someone to trade in the top 10. It's not necessarily Washington, but Washington is even money to draft Dwayne Haskins, and he's also they pick I think 15. So and Dwayne Haskins over under is heavily favored to be under 6.5. So with all those stringent rules, I know it's a very drawn out way. Long story short, he's supposed to be drafted between 1st and 6th pick. The Redskins are supposed to draft him, yet they don't have a pick there, so they'd have to trade up. So I picked the Bucs because it's the most reasonable, and the first pick's coming in right now. Ugly Face Goodell's coming on.
And online there, we can already see who it's going to be.
Kyler Murray, Fat Guy, 1 for 1.
That's a good start.
Well, it's not really a big deal.
Well, the odds did change as the season went along. Just so you guys know, just so you guys are clear, he's done this, he's gambling against other people to see who can get the most picks. So that's the reason why he's done all this research, checked the odds out, predicting trades, doing that kind of stuff. So this first round will be fun tonight. Fat Guy's 1 for 1, good start. Have you seen any of the other guys' picks?
Yeah. I got to take a look at the old phone, the old Rolodex, see what they got going on here.
Kyler Murray, what did he start as? The start of the, odds-making odds?
Odds-making?
Wasn't he minus 2,500?
No, that's too crazy. This is the worst suit I've ever seen, by the way. He looks like a candy striper, a male candy striper. And he's not that much bigger than a female anyways. But anyways, I'm going to get into this. He was I think minus 250. Like, it wasn't that much. And then or maybe minus 200.
Isn't that what he closed at?
No, he closed at I think 600. We were doing stuff, so I didn't see the exact thing.
Yeah.
But it spiked from 500 to 600 to minus 975, which means you'd have to wager 975 to profit 100. That means it's overwhelming favorite. It's almost certainly going to happen. Then he dropped down to 400, and then I think back up to 600. I mean, I was just following it up until around 5 o'clock, so I couldn't say for sure. But he's been a huge favorite 2-3 weeks. And you know what? At least the Cardinals are going to be exciting. Like, let's be honest. Oh, and one thing I will say about watching Kyler Murray's tape, and they're showing it right now, this guy's throw on the run is crazy. It's really good.
To me, he's the closest thing since Russell Wilson.
Yeah, you can't. I don't like the comparisons always, because is he going to be as tough as Russell Wilson? I doubt it. And Russell Wilson became a complete player. He's not. Russell Wilson isn't a scrambler. He just can do it very, very well. Kyler Murray, he could have some real tough growing pains, but they're going with the Cliff Kingsbury air raid offense. I'm not really sure it's going to work in the NFL. And don't forget, Kyler Murray, some of his stuff he does in the pocket is a little risky, so he could get crunched. But he's one of those guys that I feel is never going to take a huge direct blow because he's too athletic. Like, I could see Jackson never getting hurt, even though he's such a big runner, because he's so hard to get a clean one on. So that's a good thing about those guys. And Russell Wilson's a great example. Even when he gets hurt, it's always like a soft tissue damage.
Oh, the gastropub in Oklahoma.
Blackbird Gastropub. Well, they were going to cheer regardless of who they got. And is that guy wearing a Browns jersey at the front? It sure looked like it. Yeah, they're just jazzed that they drafted a player.
So now what happens in Arizona with the quarterback situation? Do you think they battle out between him and Rosen, or do you think Rosen's out of town?
Well, the problem is like Rosen's. They wanted a first round pick, which wasn't going to happen. Then they wanted a second round pick, which wasn't going to happen. I think the Redskins poked around with a third round, but like they don't really have they don't really have any leverage. So like I could see them having a camp battle, because why not? You're not going to get anything for Josh Rosen. I mean, I could see them trading them on Saturday, but it just, to me, it wouldn't make sense. Just keep him. Like, and I think too, he's cheap. They're both going to be cheap. Both guys are going to have tied up, I think, $15 million combined. Which, when you look at quarterbacks, it's what for the premier quarterbacks, it's $30 million a year. So for half that, you can get 2 prospects.
Yeah, for the next 3 years minimum.
Exactly.
If they decide to hold on to him.
So, I mean, I think there's more pros to holding on to him, because you literally have no leverage.
And Rosen's probably getting even a little less, so it's probably closer to about $12 million.
That's what I mean. I'm just, we're shooting numbers off. I mean, Murray's going to get paid more, but it's an escalating scale, so maybe they'll get paid the same because it's second year for Rosen. Regardless, I'd just probably go with 2 horses. And, there's also stranger things that can happen, too. What if Murray gets hurt, even though I just said that it'd be difficult for it? Or what if Rosen wins the job, which is also a possibility. You'd be able to trade him.
That is true. Kyler Murray's.
You don't know. Just to say, oh, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. It's just not how things work. So I think, though, is you could end up having you could increase Rosen's value, because right now it can't get any lower. So don't sell at the bottom, sell at the ceiling, because even if he doesn't play one down next year, is it really going to change his value from what it is today with no leverage? Absolutely not. Look at these garbage. Sorry, they're showing first round draft pick Cardinal quarterbacks. Josh Rosen 2018, Matt Leinart 2006, Kelly Stouffer 87. There's another guy with Steve with a Polish last name. I'd say it, but no one knows who he is, including me. My football knowledge kind of stops around 87, the year I was born. None of those guys were any good. They're panning in on Nick Bosa, and they say the pick's in for the 49ers, so that's going to be my guess of who this is. So, and I have it. He's a huge favorite to go second. Aaron Trump supporter, which shouldn't affect draft values, but people seem to think it would. We got a little dead air here.
Yeah. We're getting picks a little bit earlier on our screen here. So number 2 overall, defensive end, Nick Bosa.
That's right. 2 for 2, fat guy.
2 for 2, it's a good start. What do you think about Bosa?
Pretty good. I mean, like, this thing is like he's probably going to be a great player. I find him a little bit short, but what does that really matter to production? It doesn't anymore. That's the big thing about analytics is it kind of takes out if you base things on like look and stuff, it takes that out and puts it to round numbers. So it doesn't really matter how a guy looks. Like if you went off Phillip Rivers' throwing motion, you'd be like, this guy's the worst. Phillip Rivers is possibly a Hall of Fame quarterback. So I mean, like, so what are we talking about? It doesn't really matter. I think Nick Bosa he's the top of a really, really deep draft class. Comes from a good pedigree, a good family. I mean, I thought his brother wasn't going to be that impressive, and boy was I wrong. Joey Bosa's pretty good. Joey Bosa's really good. And do we expect the same? His brother probably gets a little bit of a benefit of that. So
yeah, I think it's inflated because
Joey's had so much. I would say so, but nothing against him. This is fine for the 49ers. Everyone just take a look at the Niners. You know what? Big Rye can bring it up on the screen here. Just on that tab. Look up Niners first-round draft picks last few years. Okay, see what I mean? Look. So we've got Eric Armstead, 2015. DeForest Buckner in 2016. 2017 was Solomon Thomas. Yes. 2018. I mean, I'm doing this off my head. It's right in front of us. I can't recall 2018 now. Oh no, Matt McGlinchey, 2018. So since 2016, they've drafted all defensive linemen other than Matt McGlinchey last year. That's got to pay dividends. And DeForest Buckner became a force last year. A force. DeForest Buckner's a real deal. I actually was higher on Solomon Thomas than any of these draft picks, and he's churned out the less. So I can safely say I was wrong. But he could also turn the corner. This is going to be a stout defense at some juncture. I just don't know if it's going to be it now. Yeah, he's going to bring up the depth chart here, which will bring a little bit more clarity to what I'm saying. Yeah, Solomon Thomas, Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner. It's 3 first-round picks. Ford. Oh, yeah. And sorry, D Ford as well. That's pretty good.
There's been rumors that Solomon Thomas is going to get traded.
It's possible because they just added Nick Bosa. I mean,
that's a scary defense.
That's a really scary defense. It's young too. Buckner's the real deal, and so is D Ford. I don't think the need to trade Solomon Thomas is there because it's also another sell low when you bought high. I hate doing that.
Well, the contract too. The contract is just worth it to have.
It is worth it. It's so cheap.
Solomon is a bad player.
No, and the other thing too is you can deny his 5th-year option if you had to.
That's true.
And you could also re-sign him on the cheap if you wanted to, or just let him walk. I mean, what are you going to get? A 5th-round pick? I'd rather roll the dice on my guy unless there are like issues on the field that just are irreparable, and that's going to be more of a team thing to know than us. That's for sure.
Well, the other thing too is that Armstead's going to be on his last year of his rookie deal, or his 4th year, we'll say. And there's a chance they might not want to bring him back at that pay.
That's another one too.
Solomon Thomas for 2 extra years.
That's a good point too. That's a very good point. I mean, Armstead's been serviceable. Thomas has been disappointing. Buckner's been the best, easily, out of that crew. So we're going to see how it goes. That's a weak linebacking crew, though. It really is. Quan Alexander's all right. I mean, this defense is close because you want to be good up front more than anywhere else. At least that's the way I build teams.
It's too bad Reuben Foster wasn't still there.
Yeah, but Reuben Foster has a history of, we need to get into that.
The 49ers also added Jason Verrett. I'm guessing in free agency.
I think so, yeah.
That's a nice addition.
That is. He's been hurt so much, though. You can't really...
Well, if he plays, that's a really nice addition. It's a starting caliber corner for that team to play along Jimmy Ward and Richard Sherman.
If he plays...
Kello Witherspoon isn't bad either. But that defensive line alone is going to be scary.
Okay, everyone in my pool went 2 for 2. Gary Conduit, Vonnie Richard, and Jack Ramsey. They all went 2 for 2. There's an Aladdin commercial now. I mean, I don't know whether I'm more annoyed with Big Rise Pyrotechnics or this commercial. And Will Smith? I'd rather the corpse of Robin Williams.
How about the corpse of Will Smith?
Oh, now you're enticing me.
Too soon?
What do you mean,
the NFL player.
Oh, right. Oh, you used... Ah, there you go. That's a big guy to fit in a lamp, though.
It is interesting that Arizona decided to go with the quarterback after taking Rosen.
I got to applaud the move, though. Because, I mean, there's so many reasons. Because big thing about drafting, and I've been stressing this in Big Rise in my camp now, so to speak, is the money thing. Quarterbacks are so expensive, and they're worth so much to a team that realistically in the first round, I'm pretty much only going to draft quarterbacks, defensive linemen, but pass rushers, not run stuffers, pass rushers, and blindside tackles, because you get such a deal on them, right? But because I just don't think you get the value at any other position, and I mean particularly in skill position. Because let's talk about this. I think he's going to bring it up here. Saquon Barkley, fantastic talent, best running back talent we've seen since I can't even remember when. But look how much money you got to pay him. You got to pay him $8 million a year. You can get the best running back in the league for $8 million a year almost. I mean, you're going to get a little bit more. Or you have to pay a little bit more, but I mean, it's an undue risk for a running back. I was speaking hyperbolically. You can get lots of guys for less money, or even a little bit more money, you can get the best in the league. So I'd rather park my money into a quarterback, a pass rusher, or a blindside tackle. They're just ridiculously expensive. So it's a good cost saving money.
So according to this number, starting quarterbacks for first round pick, to keep this in mind, quarterbacks get paid around $16 million a year, and the high end, what did Russell Wilson just
34?
4 years, $130 million.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous money. But so I have to say they deserve it, though.
Yeah, to think that you get Kyler Murray, you get Josh Rosen, you get guys like Baker Mayfield at around like anywhere from 9 to Josh Rosen right there, $4.4 million.
That's I didn't know it was that much of a discount. That's great.
Yeah, so between Rosen and Murray, you're paying about $12 million.
I bet you it's $9 million. That probably went up.
Murray's going to get paid $9 million. The $4 million there, so like you said, $13 million.
$13 million for two guys. I mean, is anyone going to be of great starting caliber? No. But the quarterback average is 16, so I mean,
you have to be half as good to fill that capital. That capital.
It's just such a deal. Yeah. I mean,
and then even look at defensive end with Bosa. Barkley's getting paid just under $8 million. The top defensive ends, at least average-wise, average starters are getting around $13 million. So you get a guy for 4 years, the option of a fifth year at a discount.
Picks coming in.
Pick number 3 for the Jets.
Quinnen Williams, 3 for 3, fat guy. Let's fill that mock in.
All right, so what does this do to the Jets front line?
Well, the one knock for the Jets is he's not as good of a fit because of Leonard Williams. We're going to call them the Williams brothers, even though most certainly they're unrelated. The thing, who cares? How about that? I don't care. If I have 2 of the best offensive linemen in the league, I don't really care if they play similar. What's the difference? This guy's possibly the best player in the draft. Who cares? This is awesome for the Jets. I'm glad they didn't mess around either. This guy looks like a load. Holy. Okay, this is another ridiculous thing. They're putting up like facts about him. They said his mother died from cancer and that he originally committed to Auburn. Why finish with two things that are A, irrelevant to his college career, and B, I guess, negative?
It's because they're going for that feel-good story.
That's
really what it is.
Yeah, it's just so, it's such a
They don't care.
pile of crap.
Yeah.
Why would they put, like, awards that he's won? And there's this weird band in the back now playing.
That's so strange.
This is so weird.
It's I guess, very Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, they look like a band you'd find at your local watering hole.
That's probably because that's where they came from.
Yeah. And those guitars look hotter than a $2 pistol.
Everything you're saying, though, about Quinn... What's this guy's name? Quinn Williams?
What's this guy's name? Nice one.
Well, I know who it is. I don't know what his first name is. So Quinn Williams. The interesting thing, everything you just said is nothing about what brought him up there was football related. It's the NFL and how they're perceived, which is really, really interesting. Like, they care more about having a guy like him, a guy who grew up with a struggle, and now he's having all this success. It's just a bizarre way for them to go, right? It's almost like reverse racist to be like, hey, look at this.
Let's not get political, but the thing is, though,
like, why else would they be showing that stuff?
Well, part of it's because you want to endear him to people that aren't football fans. Because if you list out achievements and statistics, you're already going to endear yourself to the base that already knows that, right? So I guess in a way it's almost redundant.
But it's overshadowing. Like, this guy is considered the best player in the draft.
Perhaps it's a third overall pick. But yeah, like, come on,
it's crazy. Like,
it's a load. It doesn't make sense, but is what it is.
And maybe that's just us focusing on it a little too much. They've probably been talking about how good of a player he is the rest of the time. How about the Jets, too? Jets, just like the Niners, it seems like they take a D-lineman every year.
It just hasn't worked out yet, but it could. I don't mind this strategy.
Every guy's been above average, I would say.
Well, Leonard Williams is good. Yeah. I mean, this defense is supposed to be good.
I mean, get rid of everyone else. Sheldon Richardson.
Yeah, Sheldon Richardson. He'd drive 180 miles an hour, wherever the hell he was doing in a Bentley.
Yeah, but as a player, he was a successful player.
Yeah, I mean, he's on his fourth team though now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's something there.
That's not a success as when you're talking about a first-round pick. It's a guy you want there playing.
He's played decent every year, but I mean, you go from Jets to the Seahawks, and they had to give him some draft capital. I almost think it was a second or a third-round pick, something of that nature. Yeah. And then Seahawks to 1-year rental deal on the Vikings. Then Vikings to your boy, the Cleveland Browns. And normally I'd be wearing Cleveland gear. We don't have a first-round pick this year. So my backup team really is the Raiders, who are on the clock right now. So I'm wearing a Raiders hat. I could wear my McFadden jersey, but realistically, guys over 300 pounds shouldn't be wearing running back jerseys. No numbers in the 20s, pals. You got to do 70s and 90s. That's it. Or if you're really cool and meta, a jersey in the 40s.
I think this next upcoming pick by the Raiders is one of the most fascinating picks of this first round.
What do you mean by that?
Because of the entire fiasco of them kicking out all their scouts.
Oh, so you're expecting a wild card here?
I don't know what to expect.
I think it's going to be Josh Allen. I mean, anything could happen. There's no trade coming in, so I'm pretty jazzed so far on how things are stretching out. Oh, they're showing this weird pirate ship now.
This is the best part. This is the best
part. Oh, dude. Instead of a parrot, the pirate has a Chucky doll. Oh, man. This is amazing.
Is Mike Vick considered a pirate?
He is now. Wow. All right, let's go. I hope it's Josh Allen just for my mock, but we're going to have to see. This could really. Oh my. Okay, now they're panning to a sports bar that has about 9 people in it
in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Raiders.
Yeah, and I guess they all went out to the gift shop and bought Raiders jerseys before they got in there.
Those guys look like diehard Raider fans.
Okay, I think this is I think everyone's 3 for 3 in my pool. And
I'm guessing a lot of other people in the pool went odds heavy.
I don't know what they did, but
maybe using
this is where we differ.
So, back, I got a question for you from Connor Timmons. He says, quick question. At number 10, should Denver go Drew Lock or Greedy Williams?
Well,
and I see you've got someone else picked there. You've got Devin White.
I do. I just feel like this is a Vic Fangio defense. I figure they go linebacker, but like this was honestly, Connor, this is one of those picks where like they could go anywhere. I mean, they signed Flacco, but they probably know this isn't necessarily the long-term answer. I originally had Drew Lock penciled in. I don't think Greedy Williams is the way to go. I really don't. I mean, they do have issues with Chris Harris, and Chris Harris wants a new deal or he wants out. And players seem to be gaining more leverage in doing that. I mean, some teams are steadfast. I don't know if the Broncos and John Elway are going to be that way. If I had to pick, I'd go Drew Lock, the Missouri quarterback. But I think they're going to go linebacker, and they're going to ride it out until they're going to ride it out with Flacco for maybe another year or two. Because there are some quarterbacks that might be able to snag in free agency, because not too many teams are quarterback needy with lots of money. Those are like the two stipulations. Like it could be the Bengals at some point.
It just exactly like Flacco. You just said the Bengals. Like a guy like Andy Dalton could become a free agent and could push a team over the edge.
I mean, with how good the Broncos defense historically plays, do you really need anything better than Andy Dalton to win? I don't know. They've won the Super Bowl with Brock Osweiler and the worst Peyton Manning, who was the worst quarterback in the league at that time. They won the Super Bowl. Is this defense as good as that? Absolutely not. But is it trending that direction? Perhaps with the addition of a defensive player. And there should be a lot more defensive players in this first round than offensive players. There's just more talent on that side of the ball. And teams tend to invest more, oddly enough, in defensive players. Probably because it's so cheap on market for skill positions. Denver's an interesting team, Connor.
Connor, who do you want?
If he isn't available, I think let's go Drew Lock. If I had to pick the two. Yeah. And Devin White could be taken. Like it's just really hard to get from that way down. All right, here we go. What? Oh no! Oh no! Oh, this mock draft is done.
I just see here at number 30, you've got
Clelin Ferrell.
And he just went 4th overall.
Oh my!
What did I just say?
Oh
what
my!
Did I just say about 4 or 5 minutes ago, foreshadowing the Oakland Raiders?
Well, nobody had this. I mean, I wouldn't have got this though. No matter what I did, there's no way. This. I didn't. Wow. Okay.
They made a bad read.
Look what they're writing again. Look. Both parents served in the U.S. military, and his mom died, or whoever was his dad died. Parent died. What are they doing? I can't believe this is a big one.
What do you know about Clelin Ferrell?
Oh, he's part of the Clemson Fearsome 3. I mean, they're supposed to draft
all 3 in the first round.
It's 2. It's really 2. The gambling odds are split whether Dexter Lawrence is going to get drafted. I got him slated in for the Rams. Just because he's a good fit. But okay. I mean, I don't think it's a bad pick or anything necessarily. I mean, and again, who's really an expert? They get picks right at like 30% clip.
Well, let me throw this out to you. The Raiders could have easily traded back, but probably still got Clelin Ferrell.
Clelin Ferrell, yeah. You know what? Whatever. The thing is, they want who they want.
I know you want who you want, but
I really thought it was going to be Josh Allen. I'm really surprised. He's a heavy favorite to go in this slot. Wow. I have Haskins. I still think Haskins is going to go pretty quick here. I mean, he's slated to go 6 or lower, so
everything's changed now because of this pick, though.
Yeah, totally.
Oddsmaker wise.
Yeah. Everything's changed. So I still think Haskins is gonna go in the next 2 picks. I could see Washington traded.
Did they just show him like not there? Like he didn't show up to this draft?
No.
Like he had his own.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. I did cross-reference this with guys who were going to come to this draft because they're more likely to go. They don't,
was he there?
No.
They just showed him, right? That was him?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is something.
No, that's not unusual. Joe Thomas went fishing. He did with his uncle.
Was he first overall?
No, like
where was he picked?
6 or 7.
So Connor Timmons said, in my opinion, if Haskins was available, we should take him in a heartbeat, but it won't happen. But as we just witnessed, anything can happen. Yeah,
he's right. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. I mean, I'm gonna, I sound like Rachel Maddow harping on the same thing over and over again. But I'm gonna go with. I do think Haskins is gone in the next 2 picks. I'm gonna agree with Connor Timmons, and I think the Redskins trade up to get him. I don't think the Giants are gonna take him. I really don't. That guy's gonna grab some chicken and potato salad.
I'm gonna work on fixing this guy's camera.
That chair just took a beating. Do you really need another commercial, honestly?
Still on commercial.
Oh, the pick is in. My trade didn't work.
Has made a pick. Oh, perfect. I'm glad. I've never had a fantasy football trophy, so I'm looking forward to it. You guys watching the draft at home? I didn't even get the joke. It went right over my head.
What, hold on, like put your brother on?
Yeah.
You've seen that video like 20 times. You're getting it.
I know, I thought he was actually good with his brother. Oh, priceless. I still can't believe what happened to that guy's wife.
She had a cut. Oh, I'm in trouble here. I'm gonna owe SM $100. I'm not gonna get nothing out of it.
Well, going back, other than the shock of the Raiders, they did need a DN badly. They need pass rushers, probably more than anybody in the league.
This is gonna be Ed Oliver, I think.
Yeah, you're going Ed Oliver.
I'm going Ed Oliver
for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Not Dwayne Haskins.
No.
Does it still count if you pick Dwayne Haskins
No.
of the Redskins?
No. That guy's a Make-A-Wish kid. He's bigger than Roger Goodell.
Hello? What? What are some other good calls?
Devin White. All right.
Well, Connor Timmins was right. Devin White goes early. No chance for the Broncos.
Oh, I'm in deep. I am in deep, deep. Oh, no.
Anybody hit on those picks?
I don't think so. I gotta check. There's static feedback on my thing, that's what it says.
There's feedback on your mic.
I'm gonna leave mine back here.
I think it's my mic actually. Can you talk right now?
Hello, hello. Oh, someone nailed Devin White.
Hello, hello. Mic check.
Oh, 2 guys got Devin White. Oh no, I'm in trouble. 3 guys got Devin White.
Mic check, 1, 2.
I'm gonna pick behind everybody now. Jeez.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Wait, can you hear it? We're like, oh, there's no delay on yours.
Mic check, 1, 2. Let me know if you can hear us. I'm not sure if we're on or not.
Maybe it's our phones.
Yeah, it could be.
Hey, my Ed Oliver pick's still live here though, for the Giants. They could take Haskins now though, or Daniel Jones. I don't think I'd go this early on Daniel Jones. What's that? Picks in. Picks in. Okay. Let's nail this. See what my rivals got. Let's say the feedback's louder than our voice. Oh no. Oh no. This is bad for me. I mean, I didn't think they were going to take him. Oh. They're showing his sister now playing field hockey. What does this have to do with the guy?
Sean, is it better now? It's got to be better now.
And he's showing a picture of his sister, Ruthie. Who has a sister named Ruthie anyways? It's like an animal's name. Yeah, I'm going to offend everyone who's listening. All 5. Oh, I'm so annoyed. Oh, no. Now this Jaguars fun. I'm ruined. I don't think I'm going to get one right again after this. Maybe... I have Jacksonville taking Jonah Williams, so... Did they take Ed Oliver? Let's talk about that. Defensive tackle. Did the Jags dare do that?
They very well could.
They're so loaded, though. Like, it's unnecessary, right?
What is the biggest need on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Offensive line, I would say. I mean, they don't have receivers or anything, but I don't care. You can get that later. Yeah, offensive line, for sure.
Well, on offense, their biggest need is tight end.
Yeah, I mean, I guess people have probably TJ Hawkinson.
But even if you draft a tight end this year...
That's what I mean. Like, what are you going to get out of them? They're so loaded at defensive tackle. It's like...
I think they could go defensive tackle.
Yeah, it's because you want 7 starters.
I do want 7 starters.
They're loaded, man. Yannick Ngakoue.
Is Ed Oliver that much better than a lot of these other players still available?
Probably, yeah.
Or, let me open this up to you. Is it worth taking one of the quarterbacks that are still left?
No. I don't think so.
Someone that they can groom?
You know what? That's too quick. You take Haskins now as a Foles insurance. I mean, you really just have Nick Foles and how... I don't know. This one, nothing could support... I don't know. I'm hoping for an offensive lineman for my board's sake, but it's just seeming more unlikely. Wow.
Some surprises early on.
Yeah, but like... I just didn't think... Oakland's really the only real surprise. The other ones make sense.
Jacksonville could also go Josh Allen.
Yes. Okay, that's going to make more sense too. Wow. Yeah.
Jaguars pick is in.
No trades.
No trades so far. What was it? Minus 500 for a trade in the
It's
first.
like minus 900 in the first 10 picks.
First 10 picks.
Yeah, I mean it's still possible, right? But wow, that would be a nice one. My Detroit Lions pick looks terrible right now. Because you know what, Ed Oliver is. I don't think he slips past the Bills. I don't think there's a way if he doesn't get picked right here. Oh, this is tough.
What's going on? If you're in the chat right now, what do you think of the draft so far? Some early surprises.
Well, chances are your team is going to be drafting soon. Maybe tell us who you think they're going to draft or who you want them to draft. That might be a better barometer. Can we just get the Jaguars pick? Denver could be a likely trading partner here.
Yeah, to trade up?
No, to trade back and have Redskins. Redskins trading. I mean, there's so much smoke and fire, but I mean, as it just hasn't happened. I really thought it would have in the last with one of these.
I get my wish for Jacksonville. They draft edge rusher Josh Allen.
There we go.
That is nice. That is nice.
They're so loaded. It's unreal. Unreal.
Well, they did lose the edge rusher to the Rams.
Oh, Dante Fowler?
Yeah.
That's fine.
But he essentially just replaces that role, I'm guessing.
Could be better. He could be better. There were problems with Fowler.
I could say that he could be better, but I think that might be where he slots in to start the year.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
So he adds into Yannick Ngakoue, Calais Campbell, Ngakoue, Marcel Darius, Avery Jones, Taven Bryan, first-round pick from last year.
Yeah.
Dewan Smoot.
This is so loaded, man. Now they're showing his sister plays in the WNBA. I mean, this draft is about everyone except the guys getting drafted.
Fair enough. That one guy says, what a joke. Daniel Jones, really? Yeah, Daniel Jones to the Giants. Josh Allen was right there.
Considering you could have got Daniel Jones at 15 like I had him. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the other teams are high on him. Like, do we really know what the rumor mill was there? And maybe Daniel Jones is that good, but I don't know. I don't think the Jags expected this. That would be my guess.
Pretty likely. You had him going 4 and he dropped to 7.
Yeah. And you know what? Josh Allen's going to end up playing for a team that could be winning a lot in the near future. Jaguars are kind of loaded. Like, I mean, it doesn't look like it, but man, this defense should return to 2017 form.
Well, looking at Kyler Murray, that was a major need for the Cardinals.
It's hard to say major need. It's hard to say that.
Well, I'm comparing him. Nick Bosa, San Francisco, not really necessary. But they're adding to a talented group.
It's best. They're doing best player available.
That's what I'm going over here. Quinnen Williams,
best player available.
Clelin Ferrell.
I don't know. Again, we're speculating.
Don't know. He might be the best player on that team, but was he the best player available out of everyone else here? Probably not.
Probably not.
Devin White, linebacker for Tampa Bay, best player.
Maybe. I mean, this is just tough speculation. Daniel Jones, I would say Daniel Jones is definitely not best player available.
So we can speculate that Farrell, Daniel Jones, Probably not the best guys available there. Like you just said, Jacksonville has to be surprised that Josh Allen just fell to them.
Jacksonville just has a big board, and Josh Allen probably was third or fourth on their board, maybe even second or third. And they go, okay, yeah, we're just going to take him. I like Jacksonville. I really hope they get it together and make another run, because they should have been in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. I don't know how they blew it.
The defense is too talented, and the offense is going to be less mistake-prone this year.
Yeah,
and hopefully healthy. A healthy Leonard Fournette would be
Fournette
nice.
is a wimp, though. I mean, like, I'm sorry, hamstring injuries isn't good enough for me. Just not. There's guys that play through so much more. You got to do a little bit better. And then he has a history of just not playing through things. And I get that, I'm going to get hurt and this is a business and all that stuff. But I mean, I don't really want those guys on my team. And I loved Fournette last year as far as fantasy goes. He was one of my guys. And did it work out? No. But it's I'm okay with it not working out, but I just expect more than a hamstring injury. Niggling injuries aren't good enough for me. They just aren't. Anyways, the Lions are on the clock. I have Brian Burns. I mean, this could all go to hell here. They could take Ed Oliver too. I mean, Ed Oliver is a big story here, because he's if he doesn't get picked here, he's gonna go over, and his over under was 8.5, and it was 6-1, guys, 6-1 on over 8.5. So if he doesn't get picked here, this would be a big upset for the books, and they're gonna lose some money. I'm going to agree with number 10 here. Giants have had an offseason for the ages. This is, I don't know, more of the ones that is confusing. It's just weird. I mean, maybe it's a special sauce that makes them good. I just don't think it is. Like, I think the Giants are going to be bad, and I don't even think the guys that they kept would have changed anything. Olivier Vernon or Beckham. I just think they're going to be bad. I remember having Pat Shurmur in Cleveland. Great offensive coordinator, head coach. I don't think so. I don't like the outlook of this team going forward. I think they're gonna have to blow this one up too. I think already, but let's hope for the best. Let's hope Daniel Jones is the real deal. I just don't like when they say, "Oh, he went to Manning camps." Lots of players went to Manning passing camps. Lots. If you're a quarterback, you're gonna want to. Johnny Manziel went to Manning camps. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. They do these weird amoeba-like connections.
Connor Williams going out on the line here saying, oh, at 10. Okay. I thought you were saying for the Detroit Lions, which I could see possibly going quarterback, even though they have a lot of holes.
I'll set the odds at 7.5%. That'd be my guess. Brian Burns, come on. Oh! Oh, I am just getting killed here. I didn't see that coming either. Wow. All right. Okay.
TJ Hawkinson on your list, you have 12th. So this is a little bit of a surprise. Too much of a reach.
Well,
it's a guy that's probably not going to help them right away. At least, he's not going to be a star right away.
Okay, it's not about... Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, though, you have to historically think about tight ends drafted in the first round. It doesn't work in the long run.
Well, especially 8th overall.
Well,
you've put a lot of draft capital into a tight end.
Well, they did that with Eric Ebron. How'd that work? Just repeating the same mistakes over. I mean, is TJ Hawkinson the best draft tight end? Yeah, probably. But, come on. It just...
So he's going to be getting paid about $5 million a year right off the bat. Pretty much the top guys are getting paid $7 million. So you really need a lot out of him.
Honestly, this is just poor. Within the rules, this is just really poor draft strategy, in my opinion. Yeah, if he's Robert Gronkowski, it's worth it. But how many Robert Gronkowskis are there? One. You just don't draft a tight end in the first round. It doesn't
Especially,
make sense.
They need a pass rusher.
The money
they
doesn't
don't
make
have
sense.
an edge rusher.
The money doesn't make sense. Number one. Number two, tight end is, I would say, has the hardest learning curve to conquer of all the positions in the NFL. Let's go over first round tight ends. We have tight end from Baltimore, and I can't remember, Hayden Hurst. No way. Max Williams, also from Baltimore. And then the tight end from Tampa Bay, O.J. Howard. That is good.
So
and
last year, Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, I said Hayden Hurst.
2
And then
years
Evan
ago,
Ingram.
O.J. Howard, Evan Ingram, David Njoku. Very strong tight
so-
end class. All those guys are coming in.
They're
They're
come
coming
on,
into their
though, man.
prime
I'm gonna take the 20th best pass rusher over any of those guys. And Njoku's probably the best. And like whatever. Honestly, sorry, it's not as big a deal. Like, just Hayden Hurst been by far the worst out of those. Just the miss rate on this is just brutal. You can get him in the second round, you know.
No draft, no first rounders in 2016 or 2015. 2014, Eric Ebron was the last tight end selected.
Second round pick, Jason Moore, not in the league.
Tyler Eifert, 2013.
The most injured guy ever. I like Tyler. Zach Ertz there, second round pick. And don't forget, George Kittle is the best tight end we've seen in a really long time. And how late was he drafted? Was it third round pick or second? It's 2 years ago.
What year did he go? 2016? Probably 2017.
George Kittle, fifth round.
Fifth round
There
pick.
you go. I mean, these guys are available, right?
He's no Bucky Hodges.
He's no Bucky. It just from, I don't doubt that T.J. Hawkinson is going to be a good player or what have you. Just look at the odd set. Machine learning, when they try and conquer games like chess or poker, and this is really a strategy game that's not that much different when you think about it if machines were doing it. What they do is they don't take the tendencies or the strategies of any one team. They just lump it all together into one data set. And a data set would say that drafting a tight end doesn't bear the fruits of the labor that goes into it. So I just think drafting a tight end is crazy. And if you were going to do it, it'd have to be really late first round. So this is... The Lions are going to be the Lions. They're going to be bad. Like,
let's whet Connor's appetite here. He's thinking maybe at 10 to go wide out for the Broncos.
Wow. Well, okay, I'll tell you what. The first wide out is favored to be Marquise Brown. That's the first wide out. And he's the first wide out to be selected. The over-under was favored 18.5. Over 18.5. So, I mean, I have him at 16 to the Panthers. Is it possible? Yeah. And is it a need, Connor? Yeah, I would say that it is, but... I don't know. I don't see it. I see a defensive player. I mean, obviously my guy is gone. The one that I had slated in there. So,
I'm looking at the Bills, and I really hope they go offensive lineman here with this pick.
Yeah, I have Jawan Taylor here. Could go Jonah Williams, but I think they're going to go Ed Oliver. I don't see any pick but Ed Oliver here, but I could be wrong too. Like I've been wrong a billion times, and all of us are wrong because we're going. Not only do you have to try and think about what's best for a team, whether drafting for need or they're drafting best player available. And then you have to think about personalities. It's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of guessing here. So, I mean, I just think that you have to go from an aesthetic standpoint. You have to go offensive line or defensive line. If they don't do that, if they go off script, then they're just crazy. I mean, could they draft a wide receiver? Absolutely. Is it a good idea? Definitely not. Here we go.
Bill's pick is in.
Ed Oliver. Yeah, that makes the most sense.
We go Ed Oliver.
Yeah.
Strengthen a very good defense.
Really good. This is a nice pick.
So, a pick you're happy with.
I think this is the right play. Just because this guy is slipped and I don't think he's any less talented. I don't understand the Lions. The Lions are getting an F from me. They're the only ones. I mean, what?
The Raiders, you have to kind of scratch your head at.
But we don't know though. The thing is, at least the upside's there, and it's like it's a guy. It's defensive lineman. I'm sorry. Every other team has upside that makes sense. Hawkinson would have to be the best tight end ever for me to justify that positioning. That was an interesting one.
Connor said, but they could use Jawan Taylor if Buffalo doesn't take him. But let's go back. Connor asked us originally, who do you think we're going to take? With how this has developed so far, you still have guys like Dwayne Haskins available. The Broncos, they could go quarterback.
Well, I think this is situated nice for them. I mean, yeah. But the thing, I don't know. I don't know what Vic Fangio, like how involved in the process he is, because they might just be going all defense. I mean, I think there is value with Haskins, but I don't know. I'm gonna do really poorly in this. I got a shot at some of these guys later on here. I don't like this. They're comparing Ed Oliver to Aaron Donald. Why don't they just talk about just show film on him and talk about what he's done? Like, it's just ridiculous. If he's Aaron Donald, why didn't he go first overall?
Yeah, that's a tough comparison.
It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
They could have picked guys that weren't as upper echelon, but still played.
It's because they don't have the name value, because people don't know defensive linemen, the Fairweather fan, outside of Aaron Donald. So then they have to make this quantum leap, if you will. Like, Ed Oliver's being a great player. Don't say he's going to be Aaron Donald. It's ridiculous.
Do you remember where Aaron Donald went in his draft?
Aaron Donald went 12th or 13th to the St. Louis Rams. 12th. I'm going to go 12th would be my guess.
He is a generational type player,
He's
so
unbelievably good.
It's really hard to compare.
You just don't do it. That's why. How about that? How about Ed Oliver's probably going to be a great player, and I think he slides in nicely for the Bills. Why they just use these cliches. It's just infuriating. Because anyone, you know what it is? I did do some homework on this, but I didn't do a ton. I did about, I'm going to say 4 hours worth, maybe 5. I mean, like, obviously, of actual time put into it. Does that really mean, just, everything they say just totally negates that.
So, Connor, you excited? Denver on the clock. 4.5 minutes till they make their pick. You think there's a possibility they trade it away? Trade down? We still haven't seen a trade down. And what was the odds in the top 10?
There's a huge odds set that was going to happen, and it didn't. It could be Drew Lock. I could get bailed out here, but that's not going to happen. I don't think.
Denver is a team that does need help on offense.
Fuck. Denver. I feel bad for Denver's defense. They just carry the load over and over and over again. They're panning to Dwayne Haskins. And I mean, believe it or not, I have read a lot of books on body language. Well, like 3, if that counts as a lot. It doesn't look good. This would make me guess that his agent told him for sure he was going in X, Y, and Z spot, and it hasn't happened. So I always wonder about the relationships of agents and players getting fractured based on false promises. Because everyone tells their guy that this is going to happen and that's going to happen, but some of them have to be wrong. I would like to see the rate of agent changes after the draft. Because if that process doesn't go smoothly, then you're really hooped. Not to mention, too, like, agents have to bear the cost of a lot of stuff going, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how the whole thing works. I'd be interested to see.
Broncos trade the pick to the Steelers.
Oh, I think this is Devin Bush. This is going to screw me big time, too. I bet you this is Devin Bush. That'd be my guess. This is my least favorite person in the NFL.
Adam Schefter he's talking about.
Yeah. Sorry.
Connor, you probably got thrown for a loop there. Picks traded. I want to hear what Denver got back.
Yeah, so do I. I think this is Devin Bush. That's my guess. This is weird. The Steelers don't really trade. They really want a Shazier type guy, I think.
Yeah, and is that Devin Bush?
It more than likely is, yeah. I mean, again, I told you I hate comparisons like that, but I think this is the hole they want to fill. This is the best guy to do it. And
that's
I don't
quite
think
the stat right there. It's their first top 10 pick since the year 2000.
Yeah, how good of a franchise is that?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I don't like the Steelers, just because I don't like the Steelers, but I can't knock them as an organization. They're incredibly good. They've done it the right way.
So you have to think that at the very least, Denver got back Pittsburgh's 20th pick. At the very least, right?
Well, obviously they're getting that back and then some. And probably first next year, which I never advocate doing. But here's Mean Joe Green hobbling up. It's taller than I would have thought. Get it out, Goodell.
They had the Walter Payton Man of the Year award back then.
I don't think
they
so.
They give it out retroactively?
It must have. Walter Payton wasn't really... I don't know how that works. Devin Bush, like I said, look at my draft too. I have some of the right guys in the right places, but it's just lame. This is a lame suit. Look at his haircut too. He's got he looks like the same haircut as Tatanka. And this is the worst suit of the draft. He looks like a rip-off Elvis with this Elvis-style gun holster. This is what they wanted. I knew they were going to...
Is that what a two-piece suit is?
Yeah. I had Devin Bush to the Steelers. At 20th, though. Ah!
They must have really, really wanted him to trade up to get him.
I figured, but I can't predict a trade. Good on the Broncos. I hope they got a good haul.
Yeah, me too.
This is going to be a lot. 2 firsts for an inside linebacker is crazy, I think. Assuming they did give up another first.
I don't think they gave up 2 firsts.
I would guess
they
if
probably
they did.
Picked up maybe a second or third round.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet they gave up 2 firsts. Is this really going to put them over the top, though, the Steelers? I don't know. You got to be happy for Devin Bush, though. You're that coveted that a team's willing to trade. I mean, we don't know what, but probably a lot to go up and get you. And you're going to get to play for the Steelers. A lot worse things could happen. Being drafted 10, you don't usually get to play for a perennial contender. Not that I do feel a slip's coming from the Steelers, but... Yeah, Vince Williams and John Bostic and Mark Barron. Mark Barron's a converted safety. Tyler Matakevich. I mean, those are all Jags, that whole crew. Boston's known for one big hit in the preseason of his rookie year.
I think the one thing you can safely predict is that Devin Bush is going to play, and he's going to play a lot.
Yeah, that's a great... Yeah, he's going to get a lot of snaps in, that's for sure. Okay, Cincinnati, Drew Lock. Here we go. Then have to overpass Dwayne Haskins. I mean, this could be anything. They could take. There's some linemen that have fell here. The over has gone for both Jawan Taylor and Jonah Williams. The over is now hit. So I mean, those guys, I guess technically are the best players on the board. So the Bengals, we're gonna see. Yeah, Connor, I like the Will Grier one. I have the Raiders taking him. By the way, the odds on quarterbacks, it was over-under was 3.5, and it was heavily favored on the over. And so that would mean that Will Grier is added into that grouping. I mean, we're assuming that Drew Lock and Dwayne Haskins are going to go. I mean, maybe there's some horrific video of some, let's say, physical improprieties out about somebody, but as far as we know, there isn't. I mean, we're assuming Locke and Haskins are going to go, not necessarily in that order, and then Will Grier, because the over is heavily favored. So 4 quarterbacks are supposed to go in this first round, 4 or more, but I would say 4 on the nose. So yeah, Will Grier would make sense for the Broncos. They could go anywhere though. They're one of the teams that just draft the best player available, and if it is indeed Will Grier, which probably isn't, then that might be the spot. Picks in for the Bengals. Oh. These are some pretty flattering highlights for Devin Bush.
We know where Cincinnati doesn't have to draft, and that's wide receiver.
Yeah. Technically, isn't that one of the deeper wide receiver groupings in the league? Do they have Chris Hogan?
No, they've got AJ Green and Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, I know that. But I was just saying if they added anyone else other than John. I know John Ross he's got a fresh slate. Maybe it'll be better. I don't know.
Tyler Eifert and CJ Uzoma.
What? Those are fine tight ends. I don't mind them. Eifert's just always hurt.
Yeah, mix in Giovanni Bernard as well.
Yeah, mixing Bernard can catch too. That offense, skill position wise, is kind of loaded. Yeah. Bobby Hart at right tackle. Come on now. I could see them. This would make sense for me if they took an offensive lineman.
Yeah, that right side of the line, Alex Redmond and Bobby Hart, or possibly John Miller.
This is not. It's not good. That's not good.
They did it last year with Billy Price. Could they do it again?
Yeah. Jonah Williams. There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Like we said.
For the Bengals, Jonah Williams. Where's he going to be playing on that O-line?
That's a great question.
They've got him listed at tackle. Like most rookies,
probably
slides in at right tackle.
There'll be a camp battle, and who knows, what if Cordy Glenn falls out of favor? Cordy Glenn was true.
And they might do what the Raiders did was it last year, 2 years ago, when they slid, what's his name, over to right tackle, and then played Colton Miller at left tackle? They split him halfway through the year.
Donald Penn?
Yeah.
Well, they had problems with Donald Penn. There was a lot of issues. They wrote enjoys cooking, and then he was teammates with some prospect. Really, that's the most interesting thing about Jonah Williams.
I like this pick for them. Remember when they went double tackle a couple of years back?
It didn't work out, but we liked it. Neither guy's on the team, I don't think.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
And one of them was converting to tight end, but whatever.
Really? Which guy?
The white guy. I can't even remember now. My brain. I feel like Winnebago, man. My brain is just fried. The one thing I don't like about Jonah Williams is he's shorter and lighter than I
am. Connor, do you know what Denver got in return for that trade? He said, sorry, spamming. He thinks that they could go Rock Ya-Sin, like you said, Will Grier.
Or Rashawn Gary. Gary's got some question mark health stuff. That's why I didn't even put Montez Sweat on my draft board, because I just figured the teams would be scared off. I mean, Maurice Hurst had a similar heart condition, and he was supposed to be a first-round pick, and he went all the way to the 5th round of the Raiders. He turned out a reasonable year snap-wise, but I just don't know. I don't know about those types of guys. Rock Ya-Sin makes sense, too. There's a lot of corners here, and the corners market's muddled. PFF has graded out Byron Murphy as the best corner. The consensus odds makers have Greedy Williams as the first to be drafted, and then Rock is in, and then DeAndre Baker.
It is interesting that no corners have gone. The last few years, corners have gone earlier than.
You know what
before.
though? Does it really like the gap between corners? Does it really matter as much anymore? Because you got to think about like the rule change. You're gonna get beat anyways.
Denzel Ward turned out pretty good last year for the Browns.
Denzel Ward was, again, we're talking about an anomaly. Denzel Ward was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
What I want to bring up is how good of a pick Jonah Williams is at right tackle. You're going to have a starting right tackle for probably 5 years. He's going to be getting paid.
Don't forget tackles, good ones. Their shelf lives, I would say, even longer than that. I mean, I'm just talking off the top of my head.
But for 5 years, they're going to have a guy that they're going to be paying around $4 million a year to play tackle, probably step in at left tackle at some point. They're only going to have to pay him $4 million a year. Normal offensive lineman we've got listed here is $11 to $11.7 million. So they're paying 3 times less for a starting tackle, one of the most important positions on your offense.
I mean,
such good value.
Are you going to get the quality necessarily? No, but that's part of the risk, right?
I don't know. A lot of these first-round offensive linemen have worked out.
That's why you and I like drafting offensive linemen, because the risk-reward is great. I mean, there aren't that many bust-outs at tackle. I mean, of course, there's Greg Robinson, who's having a bit of resurgence. I mean, he started for Cleveland.
Yeah.
We'd really like to have seen Cleveland upgrade that. But I don't know if that's really plausible at this juncture. They won't be riding the Greg Robinson train, to game day. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, that's just my tangent about the Browns.
Next on the clock is Green Bay.
I could go a lot of spots here. Maybe this might be a Jawan Taylor one. Could be Noah Fant. That'd be the second tight end off the board. So I will see. This be interesting. Oh man, is this another Matthew McConaughey Lincoln commercial? He's out in nature now. Like, what does that have to do with a car? Oh no, the car got him there. Yeah.
I could see, if they go on the offensive side of the ball, I could see the Packers taking a receiver. Because after Devontae Adams, it does.
I know. I looked at that today. But Equanimeous St. Brown and Marquez Valdez-Scantling were okay last year. I think Valdez-Scantling was better, actually, now I think about it. I don't know why our lads has him listed. I think Valdez-Scantling is more likely to start. I mean, I could be wrong. And also, I've always liked Geronimo Allison, but they seem like there's tension, like he could leave. So I guess so. If they are going to take a receiver, my guess would be, as the odds makers put it, Marquise Brown. I have him going to the Panthers, but
I could also see them going linebacker, inside, even outside as well. Preston Smith. They do need help on defense.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Kyler Fackrell had a really good season near the end. Preston Smith is a good player. Blake Martinez leads the league in tackles, or not leads the league, but comes close. He's high up there. I mean, I would be okay going in with that. I mean, on defense is actually better than. It's better as a whole there. Jair Alexander was decent last year too. I could upgrade on Kevin King, but you have some more depth there. This isn't that bad a defense. It really isn't. I'd want to make Aaron Rodgers happy. That's the problem.
Connor just brought it to our attention. The return, I do like the return here. Denver got the 20th pick this year, the 52nd pick, so their second round pick, and then a third round pick next year.
Hold on one sec. Packers picking. Rashawn Gary, okay.
Rashawn Gary, D-end, and the crowd is silent.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, and I think that's a good. Sorry, Connor, we're gonna jump in with what you said. Yeah, that's a good haul. Holy Rashawn Gary, this is some look.
So is he a 3-4 D-end? Like he's gonna be playing on the inside, or is he a pass rusher?
Well, it's more like a pass rusher, but I'm just not really sure where he's going to line up in this defense. Like, what if they change things? I mean, That was a nice rundown. So they're showing Gary highlights. I'm just going to take a moment. Clelin Ferrell messed this whole thing up. Where did I have even? Didn't even have Gary in the first round? I might not have.
Yeah, he had him going to Seattle.
Yeah. There's another health scare one. I wasn't sure. All right, I got Miami going Christian Wilkins. I'm going to stick with that. This one I'm actually confident with. Not confident. I mean, by confident, I mean like 20%, but that's still better than how everything else is going. Oh, they're going to the Brown Jug in Ann Arbor, Michigan for... This is the least enthusiastic of a fan base we've seen yet over a pick.
The Las Vegas...
they didn't even know there were cameras in there.
From Farrell, it just went down a rabbit hole from there. Yeah, that's true. It just takes that one pick to really throw things off. We still have 2 more picks from the Raiders. It's going to be interesting to see again what they do. I don't know. I haven't looked into 6th, 7th round prospects, but who knows who they could pick.
I'm pretty... I shouldn't say confident. I don't think... All right, let's put it this way. I don't think the selections so far have swayed how I would select how the Raiders are going to act in these last 2. I mean, they're good. It's a wild one for sure. Why are they showing a guy dancing in these commercials? I remember why I don't have cable now.
No. That was something separate I just threw on for you.
Thanks.
I'm going to grab some food while you chit-chat.
Entertain the crowd, so to speak.
Dolphins on the clock. Where do you think they should go?
I think I'm going defensive tackle, Christian Wilkins. I'm going to stick with the pick I have. Seawilk. Wow. I'm not doing well in this group thing, but that's okay. Mind you, it's possible that I come back here. Yikes. Ooh, it's going to be tough. One of the guys has, Gary Conduit has DK Metcalf, one of the guys I'm in a pool with. I'd be very surprised if that happens. Very. If I spelled his name wrong, that happens. I literally wrote these all from memory. Maybe I was drinking beer when I did it. I don't know. Did I put it with a C? I think I did. Let's see. Dirt. Yeah, I did. Yeah, maybe I was drinking. I don't know. Oh, another superhero movie? Really? Commercials are like, that's the other thing I never understood about TV. I know I'm going on a tangent here, but like, it's like you pay money to watch bad commercials. Oh, here we go. Finally, we're back. Darius Rucker. For some reason, they asked Darius Rucker. All right. Christian Wilkins. There we go. I got one right. There we go. Finally. Finally. So, all you following as far as Clemson's, the over-under is going, it's, I think this is good for the over. It's still a question whether Dexter Lawrence gets drafted, but the first two are gone. And Clelin Ferrell, way earlier than expected. Oh, now they're talking about Christian Wilkins' grandfather dying. Do they have to talk about someone dead in everyone's family? It's just insane. It really, really, really is. Like, what about the guy's work up to this spot? I don't get it. He's wearing a white suit, though. Oh, with a gold band. It's like a reverse cummerbund on the suit. It's nice etching. I got one right, finally.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who did they take? Christian Wilkins,
Yeah.
D-tackle?
Yeah. Stephen Ross is getting tight with money, I know that much. After that debacle with Ndamukong Suh. That doesn't surprise me, Stephen Ross being tight with money. Oh, they're showing Christian Wilkins doing the splits. It's a good fat guy trait. Wow, he read this play so well. They're just showing highlights. Wow. It's a nimble fat guy. You don't see very many of them. I was a nimble skinny guy for many years, and then 23 hit.
Impressive highlights.
Yeah, these are nice highlights. This is what I want to see. I don't want to... Big Ride, they talked about his dead grandfather.
No way.
Yeah, you believe that? What?
Grandfather?
Yeah.
To be fair, his grandfather was probably like 46.
I can't comment on that, but... Oh, look at that one. Penetration. Penetration.
For a team like Miami that's rebuilding, it's weird to see them in a spot as low as... or as late as 13.
Yeah, yeah.
But this looks like he's going to be a legitimate player in the league.
Well, the thing is, though, I like about it is they're going to... Like, this is a guy that, like... You almost want to get good, like, later on, like, at the same time.
Yeah.
And this will be a guy, like, year 3 where it could be really good, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're a crap the next 2 years and you get high draft picks, it's kind of almost perfect. Because when this guy hits his stride, if he hits his stride, he's going to be worth a lot more than what you're paying him, you know?
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
I like that point.
Good. All right, Connor. 17. I have Daniel Jones. Jeez. I mean, this is tough. How about Jerry Tillery? How about that? I don't mind Jerry Tillery, and I could see corner too. I could see corner. So maybe a Byron Murphy. I'm going to go Byron Murphy or Jerry Tillery would be my guess for the Giants. 17. I kind of like how this guy's been... I like the cut of this guy's jib so far. This guy's really genuinely over, like, so happy. What? Fuck you. Dwayne Haskins? Oh, he's like... It's like Aaron Rodgers treatment, almost feels like. Yeah, it's in for the Falcons. I have Andre Dillard slid in here, but I mean, wouldn't Jawan Taylor is a higher rated tackle, so if they are going that way, it could happen. But maybe they like Dillard more. I mean, I'm live here. I'm live with this pick. It's not good.
Yeah.
Haskins to the Redskins at 15 makes sense. Okay. I mean, I was right about offensive lineman, wrong on player. I don't mind a guard. I really don't.
Yeah, me too.
Oh man, they have nothing interesting to say about any of these players. His dad was his high school coach, and his brother played with him. Like what? Okay, how about his dad was in the NFL? They could have put that up there first, and so was his uncle, so they could call him an NFL legacy. I mean, sorry, this is just infuriating. Now they have pictures of brothers, which in those pants isn't very flattering.
I don't know. I think it's gold.
Good for him, good for this kid, his family there and stuff. That's nice. I mean, this makes sense for the Falcons. It really.
He's got a hot mom too.
God, he's so weird. Wow, that guy in the back was jazzed, Uncle Jerry. Holy, he's 330 pounds.
That's because NFL players get paid a little better now than back in '87.
Yeah, in '87. This makes sense.
He just got a $3 million contract.
Yeah, how could you not be jazzed? Oh, look at that runner for Boston College. That was 32. That was great. Sorry, they're you can't see them, but the highlights are flattering of the runner for sure. The running back on. I must have dyslexia. I got 23 and 32 mixed up. So I mean, this makes sense for the Falcons. It really does. This is nice. Yeah, DeAndre Baker. Yeah. I was gonna mention that. It's just the odds. When I looked at the odds, it said Greedy Williams and then Byron Murphy. So I could see DeAndre Baker or Rock Yazine. It's just the gambling. Gambling odds are just generally the best way to go. Like, gamblers know more about who's going to win or lose than the teams themselves. So I always tend to follow the odds. But then again, odds are also the markets are generated by the people. But it's still it's supposed to go Greedy Williams, then Byron Murphy, and then DeAndre Baker, and then Rock Yazine. I mean, we've seen obviously it's a dog's breakfast, but yeah. I think I'm gonna go corner. I'm gonna say corner for the Giants. So at 17.
I can't remember a draft going this late without a corner being taken.
Yeah, part of that was had something to do with the like a lot. How do I put this? The Eagles analytics kind of flipped that, right? And then don't forget teams like the Bengals took 3 corners in 4 years, I think. So, I mean, it had something to do with that for sure. But, I mean, maybe teams realize corners are overpaid. You know, and there's going to be a regression to the
that's even more incentive to draft one.
Yeah, I know, but like maybe they just weren't going to pay one anyways, right? I wouldn't draft a corner in the first round. Right? Maybe late first round because of the money. That's why. So I can't say I wouldn't for sure. But yeah, like I said, you always want... I've been beating this horse to death. Quarterback, offensive lineman, pass rusher.
Connor with a nice point here. Not to burst our bubble, but Farrell went 4th goddamn pick. Don't think the gamblers predicted that one.
No, you're totally right, Connor. But again, you got to go... Like, nothing's going to be perfect. You're just going with weighted averages, right? I mean, there's...
The reason why that's such a wild card, you explain what happened with the draft room.
Yeah, these things happen. They're not going to get everything right. I'm just going with weighted averages, really. Like I said, it's very, very hard to predict this stuff too. So, yeah, they're not going to get everything right. So, but they say this is what's going to happen. I just have to relay that information. I could see it too. It doesn't seem unreasonable. DeAndre Baker seems fine too, though. The two thing the odds makers have been really wrong on was Ed Oliver went 9th, right? Yeah. So the over on Ed Oliver was 8.5 and was heavily favored on the under, and a trade within the top 10. Both those things didn't happen. If this isn't Dwayne Haskins, I'd be really surprised.
Does the 10th pick count as the top 10?
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure. I'd have to check. I don't think so. Maybe it is. I'm not really sure. I'd have to check. I think this got to be Dwayne Haskins. I think we all agree. All right. I think all the other guys have Dwayne Haskins here, and that makes sense. Yeah, there we go. That makes sense. I had him going to the Redskins just a lot earlier. I had him going 5th.
The one thing this tells us is that Alex Smith injury must be serious. Not that we didn't know that already, but
it's all the reports. He might never play again. Like it's almost redundant to say. I mean, they signed Case Keenum. That'll tell you already.
interesting fact for the fact.
What are you eating?
Chicken.
Oh.
The win-loss record of Alex Smith and Joe Flacco are pretty even, career-wise.
It doesn't make any sense.
Baltimore's been a good team, and Alex Smith had a few years with...
Yeah, that was in the beginning with the guy with the giant wooden cross.
The guy with the pants around his ankles?
Yeah.
Were they just showing Haskins' high school highlights?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They're talking about him playing in Maryland. I mean, yeah, Potomac, Maryland is generally Redskins fans. I get that, but like, just doesn't. Oh god, they just really don't talk about interesting things to me in these things.
Connor says, I have a guess towards who the Pats are going with. I honestly think they should go with a quarterback. Maybe if he is there, Will Grier, or maybe even trade up to get a better one.
You know what, Connor? I'm going to tend to agree with you. The problem is, though, is ownership is not behind that. And they've stuck their nose in that business. I mean, we don't really know what happened for sure, but they had to trade away Jimmy Garoppolo and backup for the Indianapolis Colts. I'm totally losing my mind. Maybe because I've been talking for so long. Oh, jeez. Why can't you do it?
I don't know. I'm usually good with this stuff.
No, you aren't. Let me think here. I don't know why I can't even say his name. Holy. He's a former third-round pick. Wow. Look, you type in Indianapolis Colts quarterback, and it doesn't even come up with Andrew Luck. I can't even remember his name now. I don't know why. What am I just wrong with me? Oh, Jacoby Brissett. Holy. Anyways, yeah. So they had to trade Jacoby Brissett. I can't believe... I'm usually lightning with that stuff.
Even Connor got it on the...
Yeah, I know, before us. Yeah, what a stoolie I am. Can't remember that. Yeah, Jacoby Brissett, and they had to trade away Jimmy Garoppolo. So, I mean, like, does he even bother, right? Like, if you're just going to get it half forcibly traded because it infringes on Tom Brady's legacy or whatever, I mean, why do it? I just put a wide receiver because it kind of makes sense. I mean, I know A.J. Brown visited them, which isn't really, like, I guess necessarily telling. But it to me, it was something. And, so I think the Patriots, your guess is as good as mine, which it was already, but I think it's such a difficult one to select. If they were so locked in, why wouldn't they have traded up then? So that's what they're just saying how locked in the ownership and the general manager were, but that doesn't really make sense to me if they didn't trade up. Here's Carolina. Oh, you're totally right, Connor. Like they should just kept Garoppolo or Jacoby Brissett. It doesn't make sense what they're doing, but they're just, I don't know. They're just protecting him so much. Brady thinks he's going to play till he's 45. I mean, I don't know. So it doesn't make sense. They should have a contingency plan, but I don't see it necessarily. Just because it puts too much pressure. Maybe I don't know what it is. Yeah, Brian Hoyer is definitely not that. He had a couple good games in Cleveland. Here we go. So picks in for the Panthers. My Marquise Brown pick is live. I'm gonna guess Greedy Williams here though. I'm gonna guess Greedy Williams. That would be my guess. Oh, Jawan Taylor would make sense too. Brian Burns. Okay, yeah. That was another one that was on a lot of mocks too. So okay. Yeah. I should have said that one too. It was in the grouping. Brian Burns looks like a tank, man. Holy. Oh, it wrote that he's a fan of Spider-Man and Marvel Comics. I'm sorry I keep saying this, but this is like ridiculous. It's like ridiculous. It's like stats of a stripper on the back of a poster. Oh, they gained 40 pounds since senior in high school. I was 210 in high school. I'm over 300 now. Is that worthy? This is just crazy. And he's wearing Spider-Man socks. Great. Okay, then Booger McFarland's talking about how he went on a 5,000 calorie diet. Booger McFarland's been on a 5,000 calorie a day diet since 1993. I don't know what he's talking about.
He tried to eat his own fingers.
Yeah, I like how they say eating 5,000 calories is hard. I could do that in 2 meals. I'm not even joking.
That's the Michael Phelps diet.
Oh, his was more.
What if Seattle went with Josh Jacobs? I don't really think Chris Carson or Rashad Penny will cut it.
Here's, Connor, where I am going to disagree with you. Chris Carson's a badass, dude. Chris Carson's really good. Chris Carson did great last year, to be honest. Rashad Penny's, that was, to me, one of the big wasted picks of the draft. Hand me a little bread there. Yeah. I could see Josh Jacobs, but I don't think they need that. Chris Carson's high on the list, too. And don't forget, too, Chris Carson's a 7th round pick, and look what you're getting. And he's a starter over Rashad Penny, who's a 1st round pick from last year.
You know who could take Josh Jacobs is the Rams.
No, they have too much money tied up in running backs.
They have the option to have that luxury.
I think that's crazy. They just paid all that money to Malcolm Brown, the backup. They had to match an offer.
I forgot about that.
They had to match an offer.
How much of that can be? Do you think is guaranteed?
I don't know, but I just really don't see him going running back. Maybe in the 5th round or something.
I just don't see running back as a need for most of those teams, other than the Raiders. But the Raiders need so much more. Like, they can't afford to be taking running backs right now.
I think I do have him taking him. So I mean, I get what you're saying, but we're not picking on what they will do, or say what they should do. It's what they will do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, injury prone is one of those things where, I mean, you're just saying it about a lot of people, and it's hard to. It's like a reasonable argument, but I feel it's. I don't like gambling on whether someone's going to get injured or not. Just tough for me to do that. I'd rather go. I don't mind them getting a running back. I'm not against that. I'd just rather them go later on. You got Chris Carson in the 7th round. You can get guys in the 4th and 5th. Alvin Kamara was later. Damien, thanks a lot for getting me ice cream, you jerk.
It's potato salad.
Oh, fine. All right, you're off the hook. I already had a whole plate of potato salad. Running backs you can get later on. I just really don't like them as 1st round picks. I like how I asked you if it's ice cream and I bought the potato salad. What an idiot. Oh, a fat idiot.
That's why you're the fat guy.
Yeah. We lost 2 viewers during that that session of eating dinner rolls.
I don't give a shit. I should get the game capture card so we can play NFL Street next time.
I wouldn't worry about the capture card. I'd be worried about getting this ship up and running.
That's a good point.
I'm sure it's good for viewers. For the fans.
You never know what they want.
That was the most defeatist thing I've ever heard.
I don't care. I'm eating potato salad.
It's good. Nice store-bought. I gotta drive over to SM's house so I can pay him some CASH. All right, here we go, Giants. Like I said, I think they're gonna go. They're going to go cornerback, is my guess. I had him at Daniel Jones here. I mean, it's not unreasonable. Let's be real. I mean, they took him in the 5th at 5.
Those were 2 separate trades, right? They didn't trade Beckham and
No.
Vernon at the
Those
same
are
time.
separate ones. Oh, no. The Zeitler one. The Zeitler one was for Vernon, and I think they got something else too. I don't think that's entirely right. The 1st, 3rd, and Jabril Peppers, I believe, was for Beckham.
I didn't even see Zeitler up there because they had him.
I don't even. Zeitler's like the best
Solid.
pass blocking card in the league. Right, way to go, Browns! God, the Browns make me sick. I am a Browns fan. I'll be real, but
Giants pick is in.
here we go. I'm going corner here. I'm gonna guess Greedy Williams. My guess. A tough draft. I got 4 out of 15 right. 4 to 14. That's terrible. Mind you, how much better would most of these guys get? Probably not much.
Have you checked over those other guys?
What's that?
Okay. You make a pick?
I'm down 6-4. 6-5-5-4. Sean's winning.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah. That really hurts. I like my chances. Hey, it went over for Clemson.
Went over pretty quick.
Yeah. Look at the size of this guy, eh? He's a run stuffer. That's why I didn't think they'd get. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with Vita Vea. That same thing. I'm really surprised at this one. Like, what do they want? Like a Snacks Harrison back?
We've seen how that's worked out in the past.
Yeah. Here, this one's Models Game After Ndongo Suh. Makes sense. Weighed 360 as a freshman. Look at the size of this guy, man. Holy
360?
Yeah, he's got 55 pounds on me. That's crazy. Holy.
Wow.
That guy's a load.
Well, the Giants had the equivalent
He's short.
in Snacks.
He's 6'4.5", or he says shorter. It's a good size. This guy's a monster, man. This is a big guy. Holy. You have to double that, though. You know what I mean? You don't have a choice. Jeez. I don't know how powerful this guy is, though. They called him a dancing bear. I mean, I guess that's nice.
He looks pretty nimble.
Oh, okay, Connor. Yeah. I will say this, though. Kiki QT was really good. That's why I decided against it. So, I like them getting a corner. I just do. It made sense to me. And they've done it. This GM has done it in the past. Yeah, I mean, you have a reasonable one. And when you talk about being injury prone, you could really make that argument for Will Fuller and Kiki QT. Kiki QT doesn't show any toughness. He said, if I'm not 100%, I'm not going to play. Well, when are you really going to be 100% in the NFL? Almost never. That was one of the things that stuck out for me as a negative. But I will say this, though. He produced on the field, and I didn't think that he would. So I don't know. I still going to stick with my guns as far as a DB goes. But, again, this is getting just harder and harder. So we're going to see. I got Garrett Bradbury for the Vikings. Defensive lineman. The Vikings line stinks. So, I mean, this is really a need more than anything. I don't mind this. I really don't mind this. Greedy Williams has slipped hard. But I've heard that about people polarizing about his talent. So, oh yeah, the NFL says best available. Jeffrey Simmons punched a woman, I think, like 5 or 6 years ago. So, I mean, that's going to add into it a little bit, I'm sure. Mind you, how many of these guys punched women? I don't know. It seems like a good amount. Especially the fellas. And honestly, Connor, I think Metcalf has that impressive straight line speed, and it is like the best looking body you've ever seen. But I mean, again, that shouldn't really sway your decision. I'd rather Brown. I mean, the guy, and the other thing too is his agility of DK Metcalf was, I'd say, under question is a way of putting it. Look at this sick flow I got going on here. Pretty good.
You look like Buck Pucker.
Yeah. This is my Barry Melrose impression. All right, come on. Let's get this one right, fat guy. Yes! Got it right. All right.
That's a big. That's big.
It's good for fat guy. Sean got Garrett Bradbury too. Sean's killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He got 7.
Everyone puts theirs on Excel. Sean writes his on paper with 20 minutes to go, and he's winning.
Well, yeah, he's probably on chat roulette for the draft.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to multi-screen?
How are you going to multi-screen with chat roulette? You can't. You got to keep one hand on the prize and one hand on the pen.
Yeah. Can we just point out that neither Juwan Taylor nor Drew Lock have been drafted? That's a good point.
Yeah, it is a great point. Wow. Yeah. And don't forget Andre Dillard too. So there might be some value here. Drew Lock is interesting. Could they fall out of the first round? Yeah. I went Jerry Tillery here. I'm going to stick with it. Drew Lock and Juwan Taylor don't make sense for the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee could go corner here too. I like their grouping. I like the secondary of the Titans. I wouldn't want to rock the boat.
Yeah, a lot hinges on just how Malcolm Butler plays. Adoree Jackson,
Logan Ryan, Kevin Byard, get real. That's a sick crew. Kenny Vaccaro added later. This defense is good to begin with. See what I mean? Look at Matt Dickerson. You add Jerry Tillery in there. This is a reasonable team. Did Brian Arakpo retire? And they replaced him with Cameron Wake. But look, they also have two, Rashawn Evans and Harold Landry. I can't remember if Brian Arakpo. Yeah, you are right. Denver could get who they wanted all along.
Looks like he's retired or he's a free agent.
Yeah, Brian Arakpo had an excellent career. He's one of those guys that'll never make the Hall of Fame, but he was like a Ring of Honor style guy. Yeah, you could totally be right. The Denver could have traded down and got the guy they wanted all along. So, kudos on Denver. Trading down always just seems to be a better idea. You get 3 shots instead of 1, right? I mean, really, it's only 10 picks. It's just good.
That's why when guys get traded up for, they really, really want.
Well, like Davenport was 2 firsts last year.
The biggest joke last year was Rashad Penny. Didn't they trade up to get him?
I think so.
That's what made that pick so bad.
It did. For a running back, get real. He had probably 20 good carries. No, not even. Maybe 10.
Meanwhile, I'm happy that Denver made that trade. I think they got the best of that. But Devin Bush is probably going to play every down.
Yeah, so I can understand that, but you could get lots of. I don't know. Who do you like the most here so far? What they did? I like the Jaguars. I never say Jaguars right.
The Jaguars just got lucky.
Yeah, and you know what I like too.
I like what the Bengals did with Jonah Williams.
I like the Bills here. Bills adding a really good D tackle that slipped.
Yeah. Well, they added Aaron Donald, so yeah.
Yeah, get real, Aaron Donald.
I also think, just from what I've read, Quinnen Williams is considered the best player in the draft.
Probably, so but
I think the Jets win there.
I'm just thinking of added expected value. The Jets were going to get him regardless. That was pretty much locked in. I really need this pick, Jerry Tillery.
I do like San Francisco too. They were pretty deep at on the D line, and they went with another very talented.
You know what it is though? It's if I'm Kyle Shanahan, because he's supposed to be this coaching guru, it's yet to show. It's you get this like you should be able to make things work regardless of who you have on offense. Like build your defense. I don't know if Robert Saleh is the guy.
Well, they got the most important player with Garoppolo.
Yeah,
Garoppolo has
true.
shown pretty well.
Well, he played one game for him, got hurt.
But what was my blueprint always for the Browns? It's just draft defense, draft defense, draft defense. Your offense could be really, really poor. One of these years, you're going to hit on a quarterback, and they've done that. And I feel like, imagine if like all those offensive guys they drafted those other few years,
Were defensive
imagine
players.
if they put that into defensive draft capital. Like that team would be unstoppable right now. At least
Well,
defensively,
they'd be good. They'd be good.
because defensively, if you can add like first round after first round guy,
Yeah, Connor, I'm gonna agree with you. They did Ed Oliver at 9's pretty good. Yeah, that's got to be the best. I still like the Jags though, just because of how much depth that adds.
hey, these are all the guys I saw in Grinder. One of these things is not like the other.
Look at the size. Sorry, they're showing all these high schoolers, and there's a linebacker there that's like a foot taller than everybody else.
I thought that was Andy Reid in the punt kick pass competition.
You know what I always like too? It's kind of like in soccer. We're from Canada, and a lot of African import players play here, and they say they're like 16, but they're 25. I remember when I was 15, I was 6'5", 6'4", and there was a guy my size with a full beard and a six-pack. Yeah, and he said he was younger than me. I remember he played for Victoria. Anyways, this is what one of the guys looks for.
Jeffrey
I was so close. I had Jerry Tillery. I waffled between these two, and I was wrong.
Simmons was the top-rated prospect.
Yeah, I had him to the
According to
Eagles.
NFL.com.
Now I think the Eagles are going to take Jerry Tillery. That's my guess. Oh, that sucks.
Connor Timmons, I love the comparison to John Randall. That's a much better comparison than Aaron Donald for Ed Oliver.
That doesn't even make sense. John Randall was like 245. John Randall was like the strongest
It's how
guy
he
ever.
plays.
I mean, and even then, John Randall's a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's in there. He should be. Yeah, he's got to be. I'll eat
gotta
my
be.
shirt online if he's not. Yeah, so what? Okay, it's a better comparison. You're still comparing him to a Hall of Famer. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, okay, physically, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, yeah. Yeah.
Are they showing this right now?
Is John Randall not in the Hall of Fame? Okay, yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame. Okay.
He just got drafted, and they're going to show him.
Wait, John Randall, he's heavier. I'm just looking at his page here. 6'1", 287. That's heavy. I thought John Randall was like 250, and he was like the lightest D tackle ever. Yeah, could be crazy here. I think Connor's got it. They're really showing this. Do you believe this? He punched a woman a bunch of times, and they're showing it. In high school, though. Is that better? Yeah, Connor. That's totally fair. That's totally fair. Yeah, okay. He's made a good point there. Yeah. He's thinking the same way. You can't go there. Yeah. Here we go. Here's your pick, though. You've been waiting a long time for this. Why do they have to talk about this? They show a video of him punching some chick in high school, and then they talk about it the entire time.
Yeah.
It's like, hey.
The other thing, too, is like they're not just bringing it up and saying, hey, this happened.
They showed it.
Wingo's still going on about this.
Now
Now they're bringing these two guys to talk about it?
They're so concerned about optics, this league. It's just annoying.
But is this a league mandate, or is this ESPN doing it?
What? Who knows? I don't even know if they work together. Because remember, they're like when everyone was kneeling, they just put it on the TV.
Yeah.
It pissed everyone off. I don't know. Adam Schefter is such a D-bag. I hate that guy.
I think you addressed it already, but Connor said skill-wise, I will never, in my life, compare a rookie to a Hall of Famer.
He's right. I misconstrued what he said, and he said he totally made out with it. It doesn't make sense. Like when they're saying that Quentin Nelson stuff, yeah, but Quentin Nelson could end up being a Hall of Famer. It's such a long road. He needs to be the best in the league for like 10 more years. Like, how long is it going to take for Joe Thomas to get in? He's not going to get in the first ballot. He never played in a playoff game, did he? No, he didn't.
He played every snap until the end of his career.
Yeah, he never played in a playoff game. He's my favorite player, too. He's my favorite player.
Connor, who you got? Who you got the Broncos taking?
We're going Drew Lock, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You had him mocked at 11.
I had him
Still
mocked at
available
11.
at 20. Is that who Elway has been talking up this entire time, is Locke?
No. I don't even think there's been that much news about it. I mean, I bet you Connor knows better than I am because he's a Denver fan, so he probably gets more updates in that area. I think Denver's done well, though. I mean, they're going to get probably the person that they wanted all along and a second and third round pick.
Drew Lock or Greedy
Yeah.
Williams
I like
is
that.
picks.
I like that. Greedy Williams, too. Because Greedy Williams has fallen far enough where it's a value pick, I think.
The pick is in.
They were showing offensive guys, though, in the background. I never know if the guy knows ahead of time. Wait, who's number 10? Is that Courtland Sutton?
Mm-hmm.
It is, right? I was always terrible with numbers. Or is it Sanders?
That's Sanders.
Sanders, yeah. Why are they still talking? They're still talking about it.
Sutton's 14.
Yeah, okay. Look at that crew of receivers. It sucks. Sanders is good when you have a 1. You don't have a 1 on that team. I still think Sanders is a good player.
Sanders is going to be good.
Sanders is a good player regardless.
But you have to worry about...
I'd want a 1 with Sanders, though. That's what I want. Connor, if you're around next year, you're going to join this. You're going to do a mock next year. This year's... I like the thinking. It'd be good competitive nature. Oh, they're talking about... They're still talking about this.
I don't get why Booger McFarland's like putting his reputation
on the line for some guy because he punched a girl in high school. Oh, good question. We believe it or not, we did a video and we liked Philip Lindsay as like a... When we did a Broncos video last year, as like a potential starter. We didn't think he was going to make the Pro Bowl. I think there's definitely going to be a regression to the mean, though. I don't think he'd be as good this year. But I mean, what do you want? Well, Philip Lindsay's undrafted, right?
Yeah. I think the toughest thing with Lindsay is how healthy he's going to be able to stay running as he runs and at his size.
I still, again, I don't like the injury argument, regardless of who it is.
He's 5'7", 185 pounds.
Yeah, I get that.
He runs really tough for his size.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean,
it's good, but it's just like you just saw. What was the guy that just got drafted? He's 360 pounds.
Yeah, but he's not like I don't like the injury thing because it's too vague.
It's the equivalent of you hitting me over and over and over.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I'm gonna wear down eventually.
Noah Fant. Wow.
Tight end. They do need a receiving tight end, so I'm hoping Noah Fant is a.
Who's it? They had Matt Lacoste that went to the Patriots.
Yeah, you don't draft guys that early. This has to be a shock for you, Connor. Royce Freeman as well. He's a
yeah, you do.
That's why I see it being more of a 50-50 split. It really depends on where the game is at.
Yeah, that's a good point. Game script does dictate.
Lindsey's an excellent receiving back, and that's where I saw him fitting in. And he was playing as like an every down back. But Royce Freeman should be the first, second down
Yeah,
grinder,
bruiser. That's
the guy
true.
getting 15, 18 carries, and you really should be saving Lindsey to the end of the year, or as in a receiving back manner.
Game script. If you're getting killed, it doesn't really make sense to have Royce Freeman really in the game so much.
Yeah, the one interesting thing is that Flacco is a kind of guy that's going to dump the ball down a lot. You know, he's not like Cam Newton or some of these other quarterbacks.
Yeah, as you say, Cam Newton though. Christian
learned
McCaffrey had so many catches last year.
Well, he's learned to do it, but that was never his style before. It was like Colin Kaepernick. When Colin Kaepernick had Frank Gore, an excellent receiving back, Kaepernick was still taking off with the ball and not.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, we're going off on a tangent here, right?
Oh, not really. I see Philip Lindsay filling that role going forward in his career.
He's a receiving back. He's a good one too. And Philip Lindsay's a decent player. It's good value though. He's undrafted. I like that kind of stuff.
I like what Connor said here. I'm happy and sad about this pick. We do need a tight end, but we could have signed one in free agency.
Couldn't agree more, because again, I harped on this about TJ Hawkinson for the lowly Lions. Jeez. You can get guys. You can get guys.
I'm liking this footage though. He looks like a really, really good receiving back.
Yes. So is Evan Ingram.
Tight end.
So is Evan Ingram.
Yeah. Evan Ingram's been fine so far in the league.
Yeah, I wouldn't use a first-round pick on them though.
Well, especially if you're the Giants. There's teams where these guys can fit in and play well and make a difference.
He's going to play mega snaps.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to do well in the blocking department.
What's up with teams that have Flacco drafting tight ends?
Well, you can make that leap with a lot of things, but yeah, I guess. Yeah. Who's the best tight end with Flacco? Dennis Pitta? Gotta be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Ed Dixon, then he fell off.
No, it's Pitta.
All right, Seahawks. I had Rashawn Gary here, but clearly that's impossible now. They really did want Noah Fant. You know what? Maybe the Broncos traded down because TJ Hawkinson got selected already, so it made sense to them.
Possibly. You think they wanted Hawkinson and settled for Fant?
Why not? I mean, makes sense to me.
Seattle on the clock. Sorry, didn't mean for that. I was going to say we have someone like Cortland Sutton who can lob it up to, and we'll go and get it. Like you have someone already on the roster at tight end, or are you talking about another receiver?
Yeah, he had teams. I mean, these aren't receiving guys, man.
Never seen that. 6'5".
Well, I guess they are, but I mean, they're not. I'm just saying they're not like big times. Jake Butt had some fantasy, success, relevance, let's say. And Jeff Heuerman. I mean, these were nothing really. You know what you could do, though? My favorite formation was a single back with two tight ends. And then you could just split out the tight end and get him to play wide receiver. I don't know why teams don't do that enough.
Jordan Taylor's a lot taller than I remembered. 6'4".
That's how tall he is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Tim Patrick, he played last year.
Tim Patrick's tall for a receiver, 6'5". I think Tim Patrick was one of the
He had a couple good
red
games last
zone
year.
targets. How tall is Sutton? Sutton 6'3".
6'3". Sutton had a reasonable year. Yeah.
He says Jake Butt is a good receiving tight end, but has been plagued by injuries.
I couldn't remember exactly the knock on him, but I think that's right. No offense. Interesting one. God, I'm down 2 picks to the leader. It's going to be hard to come back because I only have...
Well, the commercial's been going on, Fat Guy. There's been some action. Seattle actually traded out of this pick, and now it is the Green Bay Packers
Okay.
selecting 21st overall.
There you go.
Seattle's been quite the savvy team as far as players and what they've done.
Seattle made the playoffs with like the worst roster aside from Russell Wilson. Oh, Connor, you just said that like next year you could, we might get you and some of our other fans, if they're still kicking, to maybe have some sort of competition. We like some healthy competition. That way we just put it up on the back screen over here, and then we have some sort of competition in that sense. I mean, we just like competition with the fans. Beat the Fat Guy is always a fun thing. It's like Stump the Schwab. This is our first stream too, so we didn't really know what to expect. It's getting hot in here. Is that window open?
No, I'll crack it.
Green Bay's got to be going for an offensive lineman. You think it's Taylor? Could be Taylor or Andre Dillard. That's my guess.
That O-line's played well. Rodgers kind of dictates that you don't need it. There you go. Safety, Darnell Savage.
Oh, really? No. Wow, they're listless again. Oh. That's a pretty good, sweet name.
Darnell Savage Jr. Connor with the prediction that they were going to go greedy.
Yeah, Greedy's fallen so far. So have all the corners, though.
Baltimore makes a trade as well.
Oh, no.
Philly's taking 22nd.
Wow. I don't know who Philly's going. Philly going after Greedy then? They had the worst secondary like ever last year. Like how they're showing a lot of pass rushing stuff for Darnell Savage.
It just means he's versatile. He's more of a strong safety. He's playing close to the line.
Well, they're talking about Darnell Savage being a big hitter. Today's NFL, it's not very good. Like to have that. That's my style of play.
Well, as long as that's not the only thing that he's good at.
Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, you end up with Brandon Merriweather.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like, how are you going to get flagged half the time? Even if you hit a guy legally, you crush him and he gets hurt, you get a flag and you get in trouble. Yeah, Connor. We're agreeing. Greedy and Byron Murphy. I bet you know what? I'm going to say Byron Murphy now that I think about it. Because it just seems more like a Philly player to me.
Savage does look very, very athletic.
Yeah. There's a lack of corners and tackles taken. There's 2 guards and only 1 tackle.
Well, is that what Taylor is? Taylor's still... Yeah, you had him going 9th, Buffalo.
Yeah. I
Still
did.
on the board at 22.
Well, I still think Buffalo would have taken him had Ed Oliver not been available.
Philly's one of the teams that really... You don't really see them taking a tackle.
Well, they haven't needed to. Look at their offensive line. Every player on their offensive line plays well.
Knowing Eagles, they might go running back as well.
Yeah. They're 6-1, which is the favorite to take Josh Jacobs. So
The
I can
Eagles
see that.
Really?
Yeah.
After trading for Jordan Howard?
Well, it was 6. That's what it was.
They still have Corey Clement. They still have Josh Adams. They still have Wendell Smallwood.
Yeah. None of those guys are that amazing, though.
At tight
I
end,
like
they're
Jordan
great.
Howard.
I wouldn't mind an interior.
Wow, this is a good. I don't mind this 4th and a 6th. It's not bad.
Yeah, to move down 3 spots and take the same player you're going to take anyway.
Yeah, okay. It's not that bad.
Yeah, that's awesome. Obviously, Philly thought whoever's 24-25, Oakland and Houston are the teams they're worried about. So, what would Houston and Oakland want?
Oakland, forget it. Houston, I still think it's a corner. Connor's going to go with wide receiver, which hasn't been a wide receiver selected yet. So, mind you, there hasn't been a corner selected either. We could see corner back to back though here.
I think Philly really needs a corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Byron Murphy. He's more of a Philly player to me. They're talking about corners now. Maybe it has something.
The one thing is I could see Houston drafting a running back.
What's that?
I could see Houston drafting a running back.
I don't think that's necessary.
But I don't understand why Philly would want to draft a...
I'm just telling you what the odds are, pal.
Yeah.
Andre Dillard.
They go...
Wow, they must really like him. One of the best offensive lines gets better.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by that. It's one thing to say that who knows how much longer Jason Peters is going to be able to play.
Yeah, and Peters has been hurt a bunch of last year. Like, not that again, I hate going about the injury thing. It's the decline in the body for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think he can bounce back. He's old.
Now let's see how old Jason Peters is.
I guess 33 or 34. Well, someone's got to take Jawan Taylor in this first round, I would think.
Peters is 37.
33, 30. I was way off. 37.
How long has he played?
He was a tight end, though, don't forget, for Buffalo.
Yeah, he's been in the league since 2004.
Yeah. He didn't get it. A lot of these miles, though, he didn't put a lot of miles on his body in the beginning, though. Because he's a converted tight end. That's how athletic he was. They just showed a highlight. That was a false start.
They're probably going to move him inside and play guard.
I don't know. Who knows? What if they trial by fire him?
That's my guess. Just watching that film where he can step in and play and be a contributor. Connor says, I'm going to say Chargers go to Jawan Taylor if he is there.
I mean, that's a bit away. Who knows if he makes it?
But you just made a really good point. They must have really, really liked him to trade up and then take a tackle, like one of their more solid spots.
Yeah. They might have done this really well. They might have wanted him like for a while, and then probably when he slipped past the Vikings, and then they knew they had to probably move on it. It doesn't make sense. The Seahawks could have done it too. They don't have very many, like, interviews with guys. Like, why do they just choose at random, it feels like? Or maybe guys opted out. Yeah, I think more of Watson's sacks have to do with him. Like, I mean, their offensive line stinks. I'll agree with you, but I think it's Watson is to blame for part of it too. So, I mean, yeah.
It's really one of the worst offensive lines coupled with one of the quarterbacks that's going to hold on to the ball the longest.
Yeah, it's really bad. The thing is, they've had success, though, but a lot of, like, the teams that they played last year all had rookie quarterbacks or backups. Like, their defense, I think Houston is not as good as everyone thinks they are. I really don't think they're that great.
That's how you feel every year.
Well, not at the beginning. Houston used to be my favorite team as far as talent goes. Then it flipped. I don't really like how they're built. What, last year they beat who? Jets, Browns. I think, like, I'd have to look at it again, but there just wasn't that impressive.
Oh, Dallas was one of them. Tennessee.
Beat Tennessee, okay. I'm still going to go with, I don't know, Byron. I'm active with Byron Murphy here, I think.
Connor, where are you watching the draft tonight?
Mikasa.
Mikasa Sukasa.
Yeah, of course. Here we go.
Texans make their pick, and it was just like Connor said. They go tackle.
They go tackle.
Titus Howard.
Wow.
I don't know why he says, oh.
Well, they got a good athlete. Yeah, exactly. Titus Howard wasn't exactly on my board. This is my first time watching it right now.
Right tackle in college, at least in this snap.
You know what, though? Yeah, obviously he's a work in progress. You know what this feels like? This feels like when Seattle picked Jermaine Ifedi. You remember that? Did you see the scramble of that quarterback?
Well, I was just thinking, they might have studied like guys who were able to hold blocks the longest.
Yeah, that would make sense. It's kind of like it's kind of like when Cam Newton, they get all receivers that are 6'5" and over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just
It's the Kelvin Benjamins and Devin
Kelvin
Funchesses
Benjamins
of the world.
Was Devin Funchess that tall?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. I like how they show highlights about like.
Why do they only have to show like the 40-yard bombs?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about Jawan Taylor.
Then if he has fallen so far,
I don't think he'll be taken in the first round if this is the case. Maybe he punched a woman. I don't know. There's a decent mum on there, Raider mum. Although I've been to a Raider game in the Black Hole, and they were mostly 300-pound Mexican men. He wore Christian Louboutins. Those are girl shoes. They have red on the bottom. Madonna made them popular.
Well, music makes the people come together.
Is that what they do?
Mm-hmm.
They're playing the same music as Kenny vs. Spenny. Season 1.
It's funny when stuff's royalty free.
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly what it is.
Simba. Just so you guys know, we're not being endorsed by Simba for this stream.
No. I'm sure we could spend the $80 on that royalty-free music too.
You and I would have a good rest on a Simba mattress. You think Oakland should go corner? I don't even know who they have, and they're in my division. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, they have Garyon Conley, and I'm losing my brain. Here you go. Yeah, bring it up. We have the internet. Oh yeah, Nick Nelson. He was okay last year. There's no one good here. Oh, Nevin Lawson they signed for Detroit. That's actually a sneaky good signing. Daryl Worley got in trouble and then re-signed, but he's from an old bad Carolina retread. This isn't a good corner crew. I mean, they could take Greedy Williams. You're right.
I'm licking my lips that LaMarcus Joyner's now their safety. Like, good luck.
LaMarcus Joyner is one of the most overrated players. He's like 5'6" too. You see him in those jump ball situations is a joke. And is he a good tackler? No.
I don't like that safety combo. Carl Joseph and LaMarcus Joyner.
You get a big hitter and a coverer. I mean, it makes sense, but could be better. And Carl Joseph is a big hitter in college. He hasn't really done it in the NFL.
Conley still has something to prove. The only legitimate player they have is Nevin Lawson. In that
Yeah, that's true. Isn't that hilarious?
They bring in Vontez Burfict, which will be
Conley's only played
interesting.
like 4 games, dude.
Brandon Marshall's a good player.
Those are old guys, though. Those are old. Lee
Arden
Markel.
Key
The only
from
guy
last
that Jonathan Hankins is a good signing. But
Maurice
he
Hurst
fell.
was a really good pick last year.
Yeah, he was. PJ Hall, Jonathan Hankins. I mean, it's not good.
And they drafted Farrell, who's automatically their best pass rusher.
Yeah, probably. Eddie Vanderdoes. They're okay. This is bad. This is a bad defense.
And I would agree with you that they should go corner. They could also go quarterback.
Yeah, Derek Carr is not in my yeah.
I don't care who they have at quarterback; they're not going to win with that defense.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's no one that they can draft who's going to be that much better than Derek Carr.
Yeah,
with this defense,
he's right about being on the same, but it doesn't matter.
The
team's so bad that it doesn't matter.
Year.
Carr was the hardest for me to watch. All of his stats were garbage time stuff too.
Well, remember the bets that we had for like pro Oakland bets? Like I've never seen you so mad last year than watching
I was so
Derek Carr
choked because they mailed it in.
He was checking down every play.
Yeah, and then he's like congratulating him on the sideline. He threw it away on 4th down against the Rams.
Yeah.
He threw it away. And this was in a must-win spot. So you at least chuck it up. That one made me so angry. Because they also had like such a good first half against the Rams. They were tied.
And they do.
That was
They
week
do
one
have
last
Mike
year.
Lennon. They do have Nathan Peterman. So they have other guys that can play there.
Nathan Peterman, come on.
Yeah, you have a Pick Lord as the backup.
Yes! I got that right. There we go. I got it right. God, that's one for Johnny. Gotta check on my rivals.
It's interesting that they bring in Isaiah Crowell through free agency and now draft Josh Jacobs.
All right. Gotta check on my rivals.
15 yards a carry
What? Where?
in
Where?
high school.
Oh, who cares?
Well, it was talking about 200 yards a game, which I was like, I expect that. But 15 yards a carry? Yikes.
Sean got it right too.
Yeah.
Wha-
I haven't looked at any of the running backs yet, so
Choke, man. I
I'm
can't.
looking forward to it.
How am I supposed to catch Sean?
5'10", 220. That's a good build.
Sean's not live on any of his last picks except one of them. He is Drew Lock going to the Packers. I don't see that happening. And Elton Jenkins going to the Rams. That I could see. That'd be bad.
From watching all of these, this Jacobs does not look like he's 220 pounds. Okay, that was impressive.
Well, Will Greer and Drew Lock are supposed to go in the next. Like, it's really heavily favored, the odds makers. So, where could they go? The Raiders could take either of those guys because they have another one too.
Jacob reminds you of Mark Ingram physically and skill-wise. He looked a little more fleet of foot than Mark Ingram and a little less downhill, but I don't know. Some of those runs were pretty impressive strength-wise, even though he doesn't look strong because of how agile he is. He seems like a guy that's going to want to play in space and not really a guy that's going to be grinding too much. Which, to be honest, with how the Raiders played last year, he's a big improvement over Jalen Richard and DeAndre Washington. And then you've got Crowell to do it inside the tackles.
They have Richard locked up. And you're also forgetting about a player, man.
Who?
Chris Warren III.
Yeah, Chris Warren is definitely a guy.
Dude, the guy is a monster bruiser.
I want to see him do it in the regular season.
He tore his ACL. What do you want me to do?
Well, I know, but I want to see him do it
Yeah.
in the regular season. The guy had a great preseason.
I'll tell you what. I like the. It's a reasonable shot in the dark.
Going forward, they do have a strong group between Crowell, Jacobs, with Warren, and then Richard and Washington as pure receiving backs.
I like Mark Ingram though. We both do. Mark Ingram's not even that big a guy, but he plays.
Mark Ingram plays very strong.
Yeah, he does.
And he's an excellent runner. He's not the best pass catcher.
Whatever.
Here comes Baltimore's pick. They traded down, picked up 2 extra picks in this. What is it? This draft, the 4th and a 6th in this draft.
Marquise Brown's my guess.
I would just keep, and if I was a GM, I'd just keep trading back.
Yeah. Marquise Brown's a pick, I think.
Ravens need a wideout here, Metcalf or Brown.
Yeah, we're in agreement here. No corners, no wide receivers.
Well, I like that one study I found on Reddit about receivers.
Well, we agree. Receivers a waste of a pick generally.
Yeah. Historically, it's been a waste.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you what, I hope they take a corner so that my Rock Yazine pick is live with the Colts. Because I don't
what
think...
position does Rock Yassin play?
He's a corner.
He's a corner?
Out of Temple.
Jeffrey Simmons been picked? Yeah.
Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons went. And then we heard about for 7 minutes about why he's sorry for punching a woman.
Oh, that's Simmons. I like how that's going to be what we know him as now.
I know. It's kind of like when they put Garyon Conley accused of rape.
Heard today bathroom stuff with Ben is way worse than people think. Yeah, you never know. Depending on the size of the glory hole, Big Ben will really take you to town.
Bathroom stuff with Ben.
What good stuff could happen with Ben Roethlisberger in a bathroom stall?
I know we're built the same physically.
Yeah, and mentally.
No, I'm probably a bit smarter than Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, but you've had your way with a few men in a restroom.
Yeah. Oh, that goes without saying, right?
And Connor threw in maybe Jawan Taylor, the O-line we need to protect.
But Connor, I think we all agree something's up here. Like, it's too weird. You know what I mean? He felt something's going to come out. I mean, it could happen, but I'm going to...
You're reaching the part of the first round, though, where you do take chances on some of these guys.
Yeah.
You can bring them in for that fifth-year option.
But Connor and I think something egregious happened, though, and so...
It'd be hard for that not to slip. You got to think it's just almost strictly based off personality.
I love that someone's name is Debo.
How do you say the second guy's name?
And Keel. But who knows? Yeah, it totally did. I thought the Dolphins got good value on that Laramie Tunsil thing. I had him going a little bit higher that year.
Yeah, same thing did happen with Tunsil. Was Tunsil the guy who was caught
the
smoking
bong
weed and
the
mask?
bong, yeah. The gas mask bong.
Yeah. I like how that came out, like 24 hours before the draft?
It was his father-in-law.
Was it? What a loser.
Marquise Brown, like I said.
Hollywood. He seems like a slot receiver from the small amount of footage I watched. Like a guy that's gonna.
He's Antonio Brown's cousin. I didn't know that.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. Oh no.
He kind of reminds me of like Jarvis Landry on the Dolphins.
I can't stand Jarvis Landry as a $16 million player.
Yeah. Well, Brown's coming in at $3 million.
At what?
He's gonna be come in for $3 million for. What,
yeah, I
4 or 5
guess.
years? 4
Wide
years.
receiver, the market's out of whack, so maybe, but I just don't. Just get him in. I don't know. I'm just not a wide receiver fan.
I don't like the combination of having him with Lamar Jackson.
Why?
Because what you need with him is like a lot of like quick hitter stuff.
Yeah,
And I don't see Jackson doing that.
What if you start adding like screens and jets, like that gimmicky stuff? That's what they've been doing.
He's 166 pounds.
Well, I get it. He's Tavon Austin, but I mean, the thing is though, they're showing him blowing the top off. That doesn't happen in the NFL. Like, you don't just run down the field and beat everybody.
I think he'll be really good underneath.
Sam, who's done the best job so far? I don't know. The Bills got a pretty good steal in Ed Oliver. Broncos got a good trade down value. They got a first, second, and a third, and they moved from the 10th to the 20th. They ended up with a tight end, though, but I fundamentally disagree with that pick. So I'm going to say the Bills and then the Jags. I like the Jags added some...
Yeah, Josh Allen at outside linebacker.
Josh Allen, outside linebacker,
really
too.
nice.
Already best defensive line in the league, probably. And then...
I know Connor chimed in with Ed Oliver to Buffalo.
Yeah, that's what I had mentioned. Ed Oliver to Buffalo is like the best, I think. Good job, Bills. I feel like the Bills management, Brandon Bean or whatever, is really good. So
it seems like Washington wanted Haskins and he fell to 15, which is pretty good luck considering that.
Yeah. That's a nice one
take
for.
a quarterback in front of
and
you.
the Redskins, kept rumoring they were going to trade and they didn't have to.
And
who's in bad? I think
Oakland took Farrell, 4th overall, which was quite the reach.
We don't know though. Yeah, it could be Sam. It could be the steal. Will Grier could be really good too. No, I'm not as jazzed this past years on these quarterbacks. Yeah. You could say the same about the Bucks. Devin White. It's still an inside linebacker. It's so hard to tell. Like when people say who won and lost, it's kind of like think about the draft for the Seahawks. I believe they got first round was Bruce Irvin, and then they ended up. I gotta find that draft here. And they got an F, I remember, and it was like the best draft ever. I think it was Bruce Irvin, Bobby Wagner, and Russell Wilson, maybe.
I'm pretty sure Sherman.
Or Richard Sherman, yeah. Let me see here.
So Sam said, I'm calling Locke as a good quarterback in this draft. I haven't seen him play personally. Fat guy.
Oh, no. Listen to this. So that draft class that got an F in 2012 was Bruce Irvin, Robert Turbin, Jeremy Lane, J.R. Sweezy, and Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner. Every guy was a starter. Every guy. Robert Turbin, maybe not so much Turbo Turbin, but like Jeremy Lane, aside from an arm breaking, is a reasonable starter. J.R. Sweezy. Russell Wilson's one of the best players in the league. Same with Bobby Wagner. And Bruce Irvin's had a pretty reasonable career, all things considered.
Yeah, that's a crazy draft.
It's insane. It was an F.
The Indianapolis Colts have traded out of their pick. 26 is now owned by the Redskins.
Wow. All right,
then,
I'm done.
Connor, I've got some... the Redskins ended up taking Haskins at 15, not Tampa Bay, despite what it says here.
I think it was Sam that said that. I have a mock on the left there.
I think the Chargers might go Locke or Grier. Phillip Rivers is getting old. They're in a tough spot, the Chargers, because they're good enough where they can win. So, like, Rivers is there. He's pretty solid there now, but how much do you put towards the future and how much do you put towards trying to win now?
What if the Skins go corner here? And then this is the Greedy Williams moment.
Could be. If I was Chargers GM, I would not go quarterback. Redskins pick is in. Haskins seems like big time bust to me. Yeah, why is that, Sam? Why do you think Haskins is going to be a bust? I don't watch too much college football, so I don't know a lot about the guys coming in. I haven't had a chance to really look over stuff. Fat Guy has looked over a little bit more than I have.
Yeah, I have. It's still like I stopped getting enamored with drafts because the failure rate is so high. I'd rather just wait till the preseason for a lot. So I just studied gambling odds, to be honest.
The good point, but Rivers is a good mentor, and if someone like Drew Lock was under his wing, that's a damn good quarterback right there. I'm always kind of on the fence about Phillip Rivers, and if he's a good.
What the hell do you want, man?
I don't know. I just never thought he was like that good of a person, and then you find out he's got all these kids and.
I don't care. The guy could be a jailhouse serial rapist. If he's good, I want him on my team.
That's true. I'm thinking about it as a mentor. You think Phillip Rivers would be a good mentor?
I don't know. I mean, you'd think like you could always be a tumultuous relationship, but even if you have a bad mentor, look, the worst mentor job ever is Brett Favre, and it produced Aaron Rodgers. So I mean, it could motivate you the other way. The other thing too, it's not really his job to mentor him. You know,
Sam said that Haskins' game doesn't translate well to the NFL.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we're gonna have to the real way to preseason will tell you a lot. That's another thing about betting and predicting. When the years we spent the most time watching preseason, I think we've had the most success because you can tell what teams are gonna do more likely.
Yeah, you can tell a bit, but like a lot of main players don't play. You don't really see like the coaching.
Yeah, but that says something though. The guys that don't play.
Yeah, it just tells you that those guys are
they're starting
for sure, or there's some weird injury.
Yeah, I agree, Sam. It totally good example, great example. It's this Super Bowl. Kyle Van Noy. He didn't know why Detroit drafted him. And is he an all-star necessarily? No, but he did really well for the Patriots.
Redskins pick is up. I'll check.
I'm guessing Greedy Williams. Wow.
And they go with the top-rated edge passer still available with a heart condition. Montez Sweat. Well, early, as far as guys that have fallen in the draft, it's Washington so far with Haskins, who I don't know if where was he considered to go? In the top 6?
Top 6. He was like a minus 400 to go in the top 6.
And then Montez Sweat, despite all this other stuff, what do you think he would have gone?
Well, his over-under was 8.5, but it was the over was minus 570. So probably where he landed. I didn't even put him in the first round because I thought it was such a I thought it was a Maurice Hurst thing that was going to happen to him.
Yeah. Sam said guys can go from bust to all-stars based on the situation.
Yeah, I responded to that already.
Yeah, you're talking about Kyle Van Noy. And then Connor said, Sam, neither does Kyler Murray, but everyone is getting a hard-on over him. That's true. Kyler's an interesting one because he does look like he's like he'd be a good player. It's just interesting to see if a guy his size. I guess that's something the fat guy and I always have debates over. Like, how much can you tell through the combine, and how much do you just have to like let guys play and do what they do?
Yeah,
not every.
I don't like how he's wrapping guys up in this highlight reel. He's got like such a high center of gravity.
He looks light for
obviously he is light. The thing is, they have such big boys in Washington. They're loaded.
Yeah, I wonder where he's gonna play.
How tall is Montez Sweat? 6'7"? He looks tall to me.
You pull it up.
I'm going to.
They're gonna get. That old line is really good.
Yeah.
The defensive line in Washington.
Oh, he might have been misdiagnosed with a heart issue. That's what it says. Holy, he's taller than me, man.
How tall is he?
He's 6'6". Oh, no, he's the same height. He's 198. No, he's 198 centimeters, though. So he's got 1 centimeter on me. I'm 197.
So his lips would hit just above your nose, is what you're trying to say.
No.
Oh, you'd look up?
Oh, man.
You look up to...
Weirdest guy.
What? The Connor's comparing Kyler Murray to Doug Flutie.
Okay.
Which is a fair comparison.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember 90s CFL that much, but... I like how we're from Canada and, do you remember any of the CFL drafts?
Well, the draft means nothing in the
Oh, yeah. My brother-in-law got drafted in, I forget what round, first, second, or third in the CFL, and he said no because he had an IT job. How does that happen?
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and my brother-in-law was the best defensive tackle in Canada, and they got his school wrong on his... I'm giving too much away, but that was years ago.
Raiders pick is in.
This could be Drew Lock. Hoping for my mock, it's Will Greer. This, you know what? What if this is like, really? What if they just go, we have to pull the trigger on Greedy Williams? Or Byron Murphy. I'm surprised about those two guys. They got to be coming in somewhere.
Well, I have done barely any research before this draft.
Yeah, we can all tell.
3 of the most polarizing guys are the best available on the NFL.com site. Jawan Taylor, DK Metcalf, and Greedy Williams.
Yeah. Warren Moon did play in the CFL, and he was the best quarterback in the history of the CFL.
Yeah, between him and Buck Pierce.
Buck Pierce. Sounds like a porno name. Like a porn star named Buck Pierce.
Yeah.
And him and Mick Blue.
Yeah, Mickey Blue. I know a guy who looks like Mickey Blue. Once. Twice. Raiders. All right. Where do the Raiders go?
I just said.
What did you say?
I said I think they're going to go quarterback, but they could definitely... But they could just pick... Oh, here we go. Yeah.
They go safety.
Yeah.
Jonathan Abram. J.A. Who I don't think you have listed here.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Sam. Anthony Calvillo.
Anthony Calvillo is CFL greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have pretty much listed the 3 most relevant quarterbacks ever in the CFL.
Yeah. I don't know much about Jonathan Abram. I'm going to be real here.
We'll see some highlights here.
Is he wearing a Raiders hat? It sure looks like it.
Yeah, he had the tag still on it.
He had the tag on. Oh no, this guy is already clowning in the green rooms thing. Oh no.
That's funny, huh?
He's playing linebacker there pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh no. That was a high risk tackle. Ooh, that's against AJ Brown, top level receiver in this draft. He recognized that play right away, though.
That was excellent.
That was pretty good. I didn't like the other stuff so far. Oh, wow! Wow! Could you time that any better?
That's your kind of play.
That's my kind of play.
Yeah.
Just even though the ball went out, he totally... Oh!
That's a good hit.
Oh, I like this guy. Holy. Sorry, those were some violent ass hits. So is
well, there goes Carl Joseph.
No, Raiders are gonna play Tampa 3. He knew. Or maybe he just went out and bought every hat. Oh, someone's wearing a Baltimore Ravens hat in the back.
That's telling.
Yeah.
Five picks left. Seattle back-to-back picks at 29-30.
Well, Seattle might have just won.
Johnny Manziel is the greatest of all time. Come on, you should know that. He did play in the CFL.
This is one of my least favorite players, him and Odell Beckham, both Browns.
How are you supposed to be the best player in the NFL when you go to the CFL and you can't even make a dent.
And he just didn't get it.
You just didn't get it.
Here, bring up. I want to see the Seahawks who they've taken
In the past?
They traded down both times, right?
Yeah.
I know who they took last year. Took Rashad Penny.
Yeah, it sucks.
But they've traded down. They traded down twice already. The Seahawks.
They must have. I don't know if that's part of the D4 deal. Did they get a first-round pick this year? It must be, right?
No,
that
not
seems like we're
Frank
Kansas City.
Clark. They did get a first-round pick,
Yeah.
and then they traded down.
With
Was it? Who was it?
they were at 21. So Green Bay traded up to get Darnell Savage.
Yes, they
the
did.
Safety. Let's go back. It tells us here. Yeah, New Orleans traded that pick to Green Bay, and then Green Bay forwarded it to Seattle.
Yeah.
Chargers on the clock. Yeah, he played in the AAF as well.
Yeah, he
Let's
did.
see what other leagues he can play in to try to fold.
He played in the roll-up origami with dollar bills, put powder up my nose league as well.
Yeah. First overall pick in that league.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, actually.
Yeah.
This guy hammers back 2 to 3 grams a day. He's relentless. AAF GOAT? That's a good question. Oh, that receiver for the Arizona Hotshots. He's in the league now. I can't remember his name. And what am I supposed to?
Pick is in for the Chargers.
Rashad Ross. Rashad Ross is the GOAT of the AAF.
Yeah, the ex-Giant.
Yeah, that for sure. No, Trent Richardson, he had touchdowns, but he had such poor yards per carry, much like the NFL. It's Rashad Ross for sure.
This might be before the...
What, Demontre Moore's playing in it?
Demontre Moore's was in the AAF. Luis Perez.
It's Rashad Ross for sure. I forget what his
T-Rich.
stats were. They were good though.
I was a big T. Richardson fan his first year in the league.
Yeah, I never
How
liked
did
it.
that turn? Oh, wow. Ain't no party like a Nashville party till we draft the woman beater. Then we have to have a 10-minute conversation.
We're both 31.
Man, Drew Lock looks really happy right now.
I more or less gamble for a living. I do work 11 hours a week somewhere, but I mostly play poker and bet on sports. And Big Rye's my cohort, and he didn't work up until I think last year. So that's pretty much it. Big Rye does marketing and audiovisual stuff. So he has a real job. He's smarter than I am.
Hot. But more truthfully, we've been working on football stuff for 5-6 years.
7 maybe.
Yeah, you've been working on a little longer than I have.
I'm probably on 8 or 9. Yeah.
Yeah, but we made we do NFL gambling. We've made some, what would you call it? Like predictive analyst tools.
We have. We don't even know how to. Yeah, I played on Stars. I was one of the bigger winners on Full Tilt when I was younger, pre-Black Friday. I did a lot of bum hunting. I play PLO on Stars. I don't want to give out all my stuff though, but I do play PLO on Stars. I'm probably gonna play a little bit on some of the other websites. Don't do Run It Once, Sam. Whatever you do, do not play Run It Once. I might join Intertops because they have a 2,000% bonus, so or 200% bonus rather. You put it up to 1,000 American, so you put in 1,000, you get 2,000 back through Rakeback, obviously.
And Connor, yes, we do fantasy football stuff.
Yes, we do.
But this whole time in the background, we've been working on a website. So hopefully one day we'll be able to get it out to you guys. And for now on, we're just going to try to market ourselves and just do as much football stuff as we can. And I see that the Chargers have made a pick at 28, defensive tackle Jerry Tillery.
I like this.
You like this?
I like this. I really like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantasy football is a bit of a crapshoot, though. We came up with a strategy last year that netted us. We were in how many leagues? 3? We were in 3 leagues between us, and we came first, second, and third in those leagues. So, I mean, we went with just 2 wide receivers because we found that wide receivers in the mid-tier are nearly as productive as wide receivers at the top tier on average. So, you got to go running back heavy, and you got to go... Oh, and the other thing, too, is if people in your league stream defenses, it's kind of advantageous to get them earlier rather than later. And the other thing, too, is check strength of schedule for defenses in the playoffs. You want to build a playoff team.
And one other thing that the fat guy forgot to mention is you want to go tight end early.
Yeah, tight end early, too.
Running back, tight ends, that's where you want to get the top guys.
Because tight end, the gap between top-tier tight ends and second-tier is enormous. And it's not like that for other positions. Only running backs and tight ends. So your first 3 picks should be running back and tight end in fantasy football.
Quarterback, receiver, kicker, defense, you can stream all those positions. D-line is always most number 1 picks. I don't agree with it and don't get it. You guys know why?
Yeah. Okay, when you look at when you're determining value for players in general, there's oddly enough, it sounds silly, but a good way of going about it is to check out what the free market determines. Quarterback is obviously the most valuable and the best to draft in the first round because you get to pay them so much less than what they're actually worth. Big Rye has it up there. It's what you're going to pay a guy between $3 and $8 million or $9 million when his market rate could be 30 when he matures. So the most value is there, and then after that is and not just defensive lineman, like a run stuffer doesn't make sense, but a pass rusher. A pass rusher garners the most money on the open market, as does a blindside tackle. So the hierarchy goes quarterback, then pass rusher, then blindside tackle. So since those are the most expensive, you want to get the most value from that by drafting them in the first round, because then you're going to have the biggest gap between the money that you pay them and the money that they're worth on the open market. That's where you find severe value. I mean, if you don't have a quarterback, like I said, it's the way to go. But you want to find value here. That's why we really don't like the idea of a tight end in the first round. To me, is ludicrous and almost just as bad as a running back. Not that there aren't amazing running backs. Yeah, it is. It really is, because think about this. Under the salary cap area, it's what's worth the most money. But don't forget that their value determines what they get paid, right? So defensive guys, they have the most impact because wide receivers don't get targeted that much. And whereas defensive linemen have to bring the heat every play. And then the most valuable asset is quarterback. So blindside tackle then becomes that. All of those things make it more of a thing. And yeah, money does ruin everything, but that is why. If defensive linemen didn't get paid what they got paid, then I'd pick something else. But they get paid so much money that you have no choice. And in my opinion.
Yeah, and I would say money ruins everything, but it's a market, right? It's where can
it is a market.
Where can you get that value, and you want to have these drafted players playing 4 or 5 years for you at a much lower rate, rather than having to pay like a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence or a guy like Russell Wilson $100 million.
$100 million plus Frank Clark,
yeah.
Yeah, like it's just a daunting task. You know what I mean? The other thing too is if you're like the Patriots, you can just trade them before that even happens. They did that with Chandler Jones, who had a lot in the tank, and then they also did that with Jamie Collins, who they may or may not have made a mistake on. it's hard to say. But that's money. The market, the free market. That's pretty much it. And again, this is all theory, though, Sam. But this is when we do have a formula for predicting games. It's not perfect, but the thing is, we try and it's one more than it's lost. That's without a doubt. We don't share the inner workings of it, but that is one of the things, is determining the value of each position, and then determining the value of the player playing that position plays a lot of part into it. So yeah, that money in the free market determine the value of that position. Then you have to figure out, is that player worth that? So you can subjectively make a lot of mistakes there, and big ones. Guys that you think aren't worth much are worth a lot, and guys that are worth a lot you think aren't worth much. So there is subjective human error involved in that. Here we go. We got to have a Seattle pick. It's not in yet. Wow.
I know. I feel like the Seattle pick is...
They must be torn between some corners.
Well, they got picks back to back. The funny part is...
What if they take 2 corners in a row?
They could.
I don't think they're going to take a receiver. It just doesn't seem Seattle. Yeah, Sam, so do we. We really only bet football, though. I take a fair bit of bets on other sports, but not it's nothing, not overly significant.
We don't bet as much, but we do still track and try to find advantages in basketball, in hockey, in baseball.
Yeah.
Football is what we know best, what we trust the most. Usually what most money is on compared to the other sports.
Well, I think they say NFL is the hardest market too, and a lot of the pro bettors, they'll bet like Division III college stuff. I mean, that hasn't really been our interest. We like the challenge of the NFL. I mean, have we completely busted it open? No, but we've done a pretty good job. And if you do look at all our past videos we've had for transparency, we'll check the week one after, but we've had picks for transparency, and we have been able to beat the rake, and that's picking every game at equal unit sizing, which is nothing we would do anyway. So if you had that handicap, we've done really quite well the last 2 years. So the year before last was 11-1 in the playoffs, which was a lucky streak against the spread. But yeah.
So Buffalo week 1 plays on the road against the Jets. Jets are minus 3.5 point favorites.
We like it too. I can already tell. See, one of the things that we like is to bet against the public. And if you take a look at Buffalo, 39% is on the Bills. So I mean, those percentages are obviously going to change because it's so early, right? But
we'd be searching out games like Baltimore at Miami, where you see only 10% of bettors are on Miami. +4 at home. Miami's supposed to be bad. Baltimore's supposed to be good. That's the kind of opportunity.
I like Arizona at home here. I'm going to be real.
Arizona at home, even against Detroit. Yeah, -1 at some places.
I like it. Yeah, I would lay up to 2.5 on that game as long as I got some juice, right?
Yeah, it's still a long ways away.
It's a long ways away. And the other thing, too, is these books offer these early lines a lot so they can tie up your money for that period, and then they'll reinvest that money into something else. So that's an old school thing. It's kind of like betting on the election. Like, you know, there's a certain guy I want to put money on in the next American election, but it's too early to do so. Let me take a look at Atlanta. I mean, this is at a glance. Oh, I don't know if I like Atlanta there. I'd have to wait. I don't know if I like that at all. So
the good part is that it is in a dome, but it's not in Atlanta.
I think I like Tampa Bay here too. Yeah, Tampa Bay might be the one. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not too hot on Atlanta. Atlanta plays in a dome. It's in a dome. It's fine. I don't know. I don't think I like it. I'd probably take Minnesota, gun to my head, but I'd probably just wait closer to. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, futures are barely out though.
We really have to wait till after the draft to be able to do our future predictions. So maybe that'll be one of the next videos we do is futures.
Yeah.
Do you want to do what we did last season? Do all 32 teams, or should we do by
We'll have
division?
to discuss that after the stream.
Yeah. What do you guys think? for futures content? Should it just be one video? Should it be split up?
I don't know. It was pretty laborious doing 32 videos for less fruit than.
That's true.
It's hard to say.
Oh, I can't believe this pick still hasn't been announced.
This is a joke. This has been 10 minutes. It's the 29th, pick.
It's been 3.5 hours. The draft's been going.
Yeah, my head's gonna explode. Can I really talk any more than this?
Connor, Sam, I want to thank you guys for stopping by and chatting with us.
Yeah, we appreciate it. It's our first stream, so
makes it easier for us to hang out. Sam, and also Connor, what do you guys think has been the highlight of the draft so far? So they went from having Seattle picking to a commercial break.
This is a
pick
joke.
Is in to another commercial break. They might have announced it on here already. No, pick is in.
You're crazy, Sam, about the Mayfield thing. You gotta let that play out. Draft a quarterback. Come on. Let it be disastrous and then do it. I'm not saying Mayfield's the greatest quarterback ever, but you gotta let it play out.
He's shown well enough to.
He's shown well enough to give it a good shot. And I think too, he's a fragile guy too. If you did something like that, you're really setting yourself up for failure.
Injury wise?
No, mentally.
Yeah.
He gets upset really easy. Is this really going on? This commercial still?
Yeah.
What kind of joke is this? There hasn't been a cornerback selected in the draft.
Sam, I think the most interesting thing about the Browns season is, they're starting to add a lot more talent where there's a lot more expectations, but it's a brand new coach. We haven't really got to see what Freddie Kitchens can do
with all skill position players. It's the worst way of going about it, I think. They're trying to strike while the iron's hot with a young quarterback, but I don't know if it's a good idea. And then everyone in there is a mouthpiece. You start losing some games, you're going to lose a lot more.
Yeah.
So they better win the first few, otherwise they're in trouble. I can't believe the commercials on this. This is absolutely important.
Yeah. What's this guy's name?
What, Jay Baruchel?
Yeah.
It's from Popular Mechanics for Kids, the Canadian version. He's in lots of movies.
Yeah, no, I just forget his name.
Okay. He was in The Trotsky. He was in... How many Jay Baruchel's? The Magician's Apprentice. With Nicolas Cage.
Is that a movie?
Yes.
Is that a new movie?
No.
Is that an old movie?
It's a weird in-between movie. I saw that in theaters with Blondie, yeah.
With Blondie?
Blondie.
Hey, baby. Hey,
yeah.
baby. Hey. Whatever happened to Blondie, the singer?
Do you mean Debbie Harry?
I don't know.
Okay, this is how stupid the commercials are. The pick is in for Seattle, and Giants are on the clock, but they haven't announced it yet because they went to commercial for 15 minutes.
Well, the pick is in, and Seattle actually traded the next pick to the Giants.
Oh, but how are they on the clock then?
Goodell, we need another 10 minutes. We got a deal brewing here.
It's not how it works, though.
That's what it feels like.
This is a pile of garbage. Why isn't the pick in? I'm getting really angry with this.
They're waiting for TV.
Look at this. Look at the clock.
I want to know what advertisers bought in for this. The last 20 minutes of advertising.
How do they still have another 8 minute? Oh, that's for 31.
We might have more people watching us right now than watching this draft.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm about to fall asleep, but the anger, the blood, and anger in my blood is keeping me up.
There they go. LJ Collier.
I don't know.
Or LJ Collier.
They better do these like quick.
Defensive end.
Yeah, as if they know.
So they traded away Frank Clark. They save $17 million. So this guy has to be, what does he need, 1 sack next year? And
What?
said he's going to get paid like $2-3 million for the next few years,
Yes.
rather than Frank Clark's $100+ million.
Yes.
And then I wonder what they got for this trade with the Giants.
What's that?
I wonder what Seattle got with this trade for the Giants.
I don't know. Seattle might be the winner of this draft so far. They just loaded up on picks.
Yeah.
Because you know what it is? You know why? This makes sense for Seattle. I finally figured it out. They can make it work with a young guy. So they just need lots of them. And they'll get one guy who's a big star.
Cap.
Oh! First corner, DeAndre Baker to the Giants. Greedy Williams has slipped so far. DK Metcalf. Wow, these are some big names. Jawan Taylor. Man, if they went to the green room, there's going to be some upset guys. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. We haven't seen a lot of shots of these guys.
No. I think that's why. I like how LJ Collier got no fanfare. Now DeAndre Baker. It's because they didn't even have any footage queued up
Yeah.
for LJ Collier. This is really, really bad how this draft is done in comparison to what should be done. Like the production value of this draft, I think it sucks.
Well, look at the production value of what we got so far.
Whatever. At least I'm more interesting than half the guys on there, and that's saying it. Yeah, Sam, I'm not sure, and I'm not even that interesting. Yeah, I don't know about the Giants. I mean, I wasn't that far off on what they would do. I just wouldn't have done Daniel Jones at 6, and who's the other one they got? I can't remember now. I'm losing my mind.
Giants? Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter
D
Lawrence.
tackle,
Yeah,
as well as
that's a
Daniel
little high for
Jones,
Dexter
quarterback.
Lawrence. Yeah, there you go. It's up there now.
Rams trade the pick to Atlanta.
Jeez. There's been like 15 trades. Ooh.
Falcons pick is in.
What are we going for the Falcons? This has got to be a corner.
I would think corner. Greedy Williams makes sense here. Like the
Yeah,
guy
or
can
Byron.
only-
I'm gonna take Byron Murphy. That's my guess.
These guys can only slip so far.
Look at this diva behavior already.
Oh, you can't say that. They might have liked Kyler Murray better at quarterback, but they're not.
That's what he said best quarterback after Kyler Murray's.
Oh, okay.
Tune in Tokyo.
Man, I can't take any more of Booger McFarland's fingers on this.
Why? It doesn't bother me. It only bothers you.
Yeah. Guys throwing up gang signs every time they show him.
My brother-in-law, he had like blood fingernails for like 2 years after he quit playing.
I guess he needed a new keyboard for that job, huh?
Oh yeah, he did. Well, they were all like, all his fingers are like smushed in at the top.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, big pick. The Atlanta Falcons take tackle Caleb McGarry.
What?
What?
Jawan Taylor? Is it not in there? They were the least enthused.
There was a delay. That's why it seems so funny.
That guy looks like white Charlie Villanueva.
Oh, man.
Or like albino Brian Scalabrine.
Yeah.
Every guy has the hardest life apparently until the NFL.
Why don't they're treating this like it's American Idol?
It is. They totally are. Oh, this guy. One of his grandparents died. All of my grandparents are dead. Do I deserve a medal too?
I'll get you one.
What? Like I don't get it. Whoa. This guy is huge, man.
What was his height, weight?
6'7", 317. They went. Falcons knew what they wanted. That's for sure. That was a block in the back.
Is that their second tackle?
Well, the other guy's at guard.
Yeah, that's good.
I like what they're doing. Good work, Falcons.
They've got Matt Ryan and one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and they're just solidifying.
People are arguing, but whatever.
They're just solidifying that.
He's got to have length though at that height. Like you could shape him into a tackle. They got two white guys too. Perfect. I mean, if you're going offensive lineman, that's what you do, don't you? You don't want good athletes.
They did lose some guys on this O-line, so it's not too surprising that they wanted to fill in there.
They've never really had tight ends, though. I always found weird. Oh, James Carpenter? Okay. Oh, I forgot about Alex Mack. That's huge.
Yeah.
Tyson Breo can play a little bit, too.
They added Luke Stalker as well.
Luke Stalker's a good good blocking tight end.
And Logan Paulson.
This is not a bad team.
They added some interesting guys.
Yeah.
James Carpenter.
I don't know about this defense. It's like it's a lot of retreads there.
I don't get why some of these guys have all capital letters and some of them have lowercase. Like
all capital has been traded to them.
Well,
or they're signed by not Matt Ryan.
That's what I mean.
Maybe it's a certain age.
Could be.
Carpenter, Mack, and Matt Ryan are old.
It is a lot of the older guys.
Those are all first-round picks, too, by the way, the ones I just listed. I don't think Brandon Fusco's a first-round pick, though. Luke Stalker certainly isn't either. Kenyon Barner's old, too. I think it has something to do with that. I guess New England's on the clock. Let's just pick corner. I mean, really? We've been saying that the whole time.
Well, they've got their pick of Jawan Taylor, DK Metcalf, and Rudy Williams, and I'm sure a plethora of other players. Drew Lock, there's another guy. kind of a good spot to be able to take a guy like him. Is that Gronkowski?
No.
I don't know.
He
Maybe
lost a lot of weight.
Yeah,
if
he
that's
stopped
him.
taking steroids.
Yeah, I guess. You usually get a gut when you do that. I like how all these people show up in the draft. They don't know any of the players.
Whatever.
If you're gonna criticize Tiger, you gotta name at least 3 golf tournaments.
Brady's gonna be 42.
I know. I just don't think they're. I don't think Belichick wants to go through that bullshit again.
I'm liking the hand signals.
That's what Mel Kiper had to do when he was selling rugs. Let's go. Honestly, man. I don't want to see Mel Kiper bad haircut anymore. There's no one in the stands anymore. Can we just go? Honest, this is crazy. And these guys have been wrong 95% of the time, just like I am. So why even have them talking?
It's all about the speculation. So it's 6 total.
Yeah, I got 6, unless I get AJ Brown here. I've lost. Sean has 8. Came second.
I think you had 2 picks that were right, but you had them traded, right?
Yeah, I did have that. I had Redskins taking Dwayne Haskins, and I had Giants taking Daniel Jones. And I was right about that. That Blondie looks alright there, though.
You had Green Bay taking...
What?
Oh, here you go.
I was right about receiver. I actually flipped a coin and I lost. Because I had A.J. Brown instead and N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to go A.J. Brown. I lost that one. Lost the flip. Wouldn't have mattered anyways. We only got 7. Man, he just ended on a whimper, too. Look at these clowns. Man. Interesting with these big guys that fell. If they went to the green room, these guys are like fighting with their agents. Why'd you tell me to come? What? None of these guys even went to the draft.
It's bizarre, huh? Where is this?
Nashville.
No, but look at where they are.
I don't know.
They're just like between some buildings and they threw up a...
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Just bizarre.
It's probably some famous street. What are you big into country music? You know what the hell you're talking about.
Well, you figure they'd have it like at a stadium.
No. They want to build their own spectacle. All right. Do you want to say goodbye to the folks at home? Folks,
guys, thanks for sticking around with us and watching.
Yes. Special thanks to Connor and Sam.
Yeah, thanks for contributing.
First stream.
And hanging out, chatting with us. Keep an eye out. Eventually we'll be getting some videos out, and we're going to be live streaming a lot of the games this season.
Yes, regular season it's going to be more of a thing. I'm not sure what we're going to do in between, but there probably will be something.
Sam thinks it's pretty funny that agents have their guys in the green room. Like, LOL, why do you even tell me to come?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Players, like whoever, Greedy Williams, whoever is just hanging out. And N'Keal Harry's from Toronto.
Well, he's probably Caribbean. There's a lot of Caribbean people from Toronto. All right, gentlemen, we'll take it off here, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good night.